Hi, everybody. It's Royce here, along with my cast of characters and my vinyl unicorn over here. Let me make my picture bigger. I brought the vinyl unicorn with me. She doesn't want to put her unicorn costume on. It's too hot. Anyway, but she's here. So let me get back. So we have a really good show for you tonight. It's called Shock Rockers. And what I want to know, first of all, is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere you look.
You know, what we're going to do is I'm going to give everybody a little opportunity as we go around to kind of do their own introduction. We've got a new person coming on tonight who's got a very, very, very good show, Rachel. Rachel Music Ma'am, M-A-M, one word, Rachel Music Ma'am's live stream. I popped in their show in the chat one day, and they were inviting me on the show. They were subscribing to my show and everything else. I mean, just the coolest group of people you ever met. And she's got, like, as far as I can tell, she's running 2 shows a day, you know. But anyway, so Rachel's coming on. I want everybody to kind of introduce themselves individually. I know, Caitlin, you've got a show, but you haven't really done anything in a while because you've had your knee out, right?
Well, I know Dan, so hi, Dan. Hi, and hi to Floyd and sorry, I'm using my phone and Captain. Is that correct?
Captain Pinksock. It's my real name's Mike, but that's
cool. That's a cool name. I like it. Nice to meet you, Captain Pinksock. I'm Caitlin. Floyd, nice to meet you as well. I'm a music lover. I grown up listening and loving music. I'm gonna most likely die listening and loving music. I'm also a record collector. I just can't get to right now. But I have a podcast called Caitlin's Corner, but I haven't touched it since recovering from knee replacement surgeries. But that's making it come.
I was on your first show, and there's been a lot. I think you did 1, maybe 2 after that.
Yeah, I did. It was just because my knees were just being the joy killers. But I'm better now. Once I get over the sickness, I will be getting it back up and having it. And basically, no, I just talk about stuff, kind of like with Royce. He talked about his show and his musical knowledge, which I always enjoy hearing. And so it's just, you know, Royce brought a lot of fun into that episode. Just a lot of fun.
I was listening to Rachel's show the other day, and they got off subject, and they were talking about, you know, playoff games and stuff like that. You're the first person that came to my mind, Caitlin. I mean, Caitlin knows more about sports than probably the rest of us combined.
Well, what's up? Some of you do not know. I don't mention this too much. I'm a fantasy sports writer for Ultimate Sports Network. So where, you know, but I like it. That's my jam. Although, you know, fantasy football gives me a migraine right now, but it's my jam. But I like it. But if anybody wants a promo code to subscribe or whatever, let me know. I can most definitely get you guys the promo code for that.
Okay, good. Now Rachel's actually in the chat,
cool.
making comments.
Some
of the trolls came to play. Looks like some of the trolls came to play. You have haters here, Royce. These negative thumbs. Okay, I got to respond to her. You guys go ahead for a minute.
You know, thumbs down is always bad. YouTube looks at it as a response, and any response is good.
Like publicity. Any publicity is good publicity.
That's right. Somebody
that's what a lot of people say. Good or bad, it's good publicity. You know?
Because
I mean, I don't know how far you can take that, really, but
yeah, that's true.
People are still talking, though. People are still talking. Your name's still out there.
Yeah, that's that, you know. Maybe they'll forget the bad stuff. They'll just remember the name, right?
Yeah.
You never know. Never know.
Right?
I mean, Alice Cooper survived on bad publicity for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I need to get Rachel into the live chat. I just sent her a message asking how we do that.
We're back.
Yeah, she said she could pop in here on her own. So link my way, Royce. Rachel's Music Ma'am. Okay, Rachel. Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Royce, for sending the T-shirt.
Oh yeah, you're quite welcome, Dan. I appreciate everything you've done. Let me try to get Rachel Rachel a link here.
That's going to come in handy in the next few weeks. I'm getting ready to do a couple of videos about Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, good. Yeah, you mentioned that. That's awesome.
Yeah, one of the videos is going to be about the movie, the 1960s movie with Warren Beatty, Faye Dunaway. Most of it was filmed here in North Texas, so I'm going to hit all the film locations that are still around and show what they look like today. And then I'm going to do the real Bonnie and Clyde, where they really hung out here in Dallas, where they're really buried. Because the movie's not quite like the real life was.
Okay, I don't know.
It's too quiet in here. I don't know what's going on. So let's just.
I'm trying to send Rachel.
Hi, I'm Mike Usnick, and this is Royce in the house.
Rachel, did you get my link? Yes, it's straight. Yes, it is StreamYard. We're on StreamYard, and I usually just send a link in Messenger, and all you have to do is click on that StreamYard logo, and you come into the back room, you know, the studio, and check your sound and stuff like that. So if I was going to send you a message on Messenger, would it just, I just tried to do it to Rachel's Music Ma'am live streams. And I don't know whether you got it or not. You can send it in here. Oh, well, I've never done that before. Okay.
It's fun watching him talk to himself.
Okay, no, I'm just trying to figure out how to send her the link right here. I have never done that before.
This is so exciting, Royce. So exciting.
I love it. I feel like I'm in the Insane Asylum again.
I'm looking at trying to figure out what he's doing. What is he doing right now?
It's like a one-sided conversation.
Well, no, I'm talking to the chat.
You can actually bring up comments, Royce. I don't know if you know that or not. If you click on the comment, it'll pop up on the screen.
I won't do that.
Yeah, well, I've got this. You have 10 people. Okay, click to clipboard, email, messenger. I'm not sure how to put this in the chat. Okay, I guess here it is. I think. Okay. Let's see. I might have it right now. All right, Rachel. Try that, Rachel. Okay, so shock rock. Okay, performances often include the use of makeup, almost always the use of makeup, costumes, fire, self-injuries, destruction of property, sexual stimulation, and in many cases, even mock decapitations. And that's what we're talking about, the chicken. That was brought up as an example of mock decapitations. Okay, we have Rachel.
So are we naming every single 80s
Hello, Rachel.
band?
Thank you. I'm so used to just sending everybody a message in Messenger. Everybody, this is Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, everybody.
Next to me is my younger brother, Richie, lifelong musician in Las Vegas. Mike,
Cool.
have you met Mike Musnick? Mike Musnick's a comedian. He's got the Pink Sock podcast. Next to you is Dan McNew. Dan McNew has Just the Facts show, a fantastic show. Dan goes everywhere. He just did a Bonnie and Clyde show. He when you watch that movie of the space shuttle blowing up years ago, that film was made by Dan, and it's probably the most used film ever of the space shuttle blowing up. Dan's been everywhere. And Caitlin over here on the end, Caitlin has her own show too. She hasn't been that active lately, but she's going to get back into it. And now, Rachel, I was telling everybody how impressed I was when I discovered your show, recommended to me by Bill Kay. He said, "You've got to watch this show, Royce. These people are great." And I was so impressed with the friendliness of everybody, yourself, all your co-hosts. Everybody's just friendly, helpful, just a nice group of people, and smart and knowledgeable at the same time. You know. So, do you want to give us a little plug on your show? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, what you want to do now? How long have you been doing these live streams for, Royce?
I'm going to say 6-7 months or so.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. Now, you haven't had any trouble with the trolls, because with me here, you're going to get hit. And so how
Well,
we
you know what,
combat them-
Rachel, listen.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about the trolls.
Everybody here came from another show. In fact, my motivation,
Yep.
I was in a vinyl competition show where we'd show vinyl and tell a story, and then the audience would vote. And if you won 2 out of 3, you got free vinyl from Spinner's Records sent to you, and you went on to the next competition. Well, my motivation for starting my show was losing in the competition to Jeff Davidson. And Jeff said, Royce, I don't want the vinyl. You pick it out. I want you to pick something for yourself. So I picked out some vinyl. Spinner's Records not only mailed me the album I picked out, which was Living Color, but they also mailed me a couple of other really good albums. One was The Cars, and one was Charlie Black country artist, not always country though. I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry. But anyway, so they sent, pardon me?
Cowboy Troy, Neil McCoy.
No.
That's the only 2 black guys in country.
He sang Seven Spanish Angels with Willie Nelson.
Charlie Pride, maybe.
Charlie Pride.
Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. So anyway, I lost the competition. When the vinyl showed up, I thought I'd go on and unbox it and show it to everybody and thank Jeff for being so gracious, beating me in the competition and letting me pick the vinyl. And after I did that, I got kind of excited. I said, well, I'll do it. I'll try another one of these, and then another one, and then another one, and just kept growing, you know. And so I owe Jeff Davidson for me actually starting this. But anyway, Rachel, go ahead.
Okay, so if we do get hit with trolls, like normally you can create moderators, and they can just delete them out or time them out or block them during the midst to police them if you want. But it's up to you. It's your show.
Right.
So my show, I do 2 streams twice a day. I belong to a thing called broadly the vinyl community. We're a bunch of music collectors, physical format largely, CDs and records. So that's vinyl in the vinyl community. Generally a good group of people, 99%.
Well,
What happened?
Cliffhanger.
Got to bring me back. So generally really good people. There's a few, oddities there. It's a public forum. So when you're dealing with the public, you're going to deal with all sorts of people in various states of mental health or lack thereof. And but we pursue it. My show is it's really just a comedy show. We got a lot of people that hold up their records and do the thing. And I'm there really just to entertain. And we talk about everything under the sun. And sometimes there's heated emotions because, it'll get political from time to time.
Yeah.
You get people on every side. And but then it'll be into science, or I'm big into genealogy. And so I'll bore everybody with that. And then I discovered this young kid in the Netherlands called Heintje. Now, Heintje is born in 1954. And he came to me in a free box of records. And well, I've unleashed Heintje on all my viewers now. It says, here's the latest from Heintje, 1966. And it's this young, fresh-faced kid in the Netherlands singing in his own Dutch language. So we have a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, I'm a diehard Beatles fan. So I've got a lot of Beatle records, and people have been very kind to me and gifting me stuff. So as Psychoplatter says in the peanut, I call this the chat, the peanut gallery. Psychoplatter says, yes, it does help to be insane for if you're watching my show, but you're all welcome to drop in. They start at 6 o'clock in the morning, generally Pacific, so right in early, and then again at about 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock Pacific. And I am in Victoria. Well, I'm in Sydney, but near Victoria, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. So, but I got an American sister, and we got lots of American folks. And of course, I bore everybody with all my American ancestry. Pennsylvania proud. We love Pennsylvania, Ohio State as well. A lot of ancestors over there. And then they kind of make their way across the West and end up in Washington. So that's my story. Oh, and finally, I'm a post-operative transsexual, male to female transsexual. The full operation, indoor plumbing is superior. I'm sorry, but I have to put it out there. Indoor plumbing is the way to go. So so that's me. I am Rachel, and my Music Ma'am handle is just me taking a little poke at myself, not to take myself.
I see. Okay.
There was
I wondered about that. I mean,
there was a trans individual that went into a GameSpot some months ago, maybe a year ago.
I remember.
And she was misgendered in there and got all upset. And I'm the exact, I don't care. You know, I really don't care what people think. I just forge ahead and live my own life and have fun. And try not to cause rain, but spread a little sunshine, a little laughter as I go about my way. Royce, thanks so much for having me on here. It's a distinct pleasure. And what a great cast you've got here. Really looking forward to digging into the subject with everybody.
Well, yeah. Well, what we're going to do, okay, and thank you very much. And I really recommend your show. Like I said, we've all kind of been on the same show together before that we've all more or less left. But anyway, so we know what it's like to come across a friendly show. And as I said, Rachel's was the friendliest show I've ever went on. I've never seen anything like it, you know. Everybody was just, you know, so, you know, hey, how you doing, buddy? Let me subscribe to your show. Good luck. We'll help you. Yeah, we'll help you build your. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Just great bunch of people. Great bunch of people.
Yeah, a lot of it's promotion. If you got a channel or a contest you're starting out, we always try and promote people. And
yeah, no, that's really cool. And some of them have subscribed, and I've turned around when I saw the notification. I subscribed back because they've all got shows that they're doing, you know. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll get back to shock rock, and I think what we're going to do. I mean, the list is probably endless, but I've just targeted certain people. But what I want to do is I want to discuss a band, show a couple of albums if I have them, and then we'll just go around the room. And anybody that has anything to say about it, even in the chat, anybody that has anything to say about it, well, let's talk about it. So, okay. So shock rock. What better time for a ghoulish show than the day before Halloween, right? Mm-hmm. And while some of the acts are horrifying or inappropriate, a lot of it's just good fun and entertainment. And your thoughts on shock rockers, love them, hate them, whatever. Please sound off in the chat. Let us know what your thoughts on shock rockers are. We're going to start out. I'm going to mention one of the originators, late 1950s. There's probably a few of you have heard of him because someone's already mentioned it. But I'm talking about Screamin Jay Hawkins. I don't know how many people have heard of Screamin Jay Hawkins, but in the late 50s. Put a spell on you. Yeah, and that was more people have heard of his. That's his most famous song. I Put a Spell on You, covered by everybody, including one of my favorite bands, Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's a fantastic song, and I've watched about 4, maybe 5 of his videos on YouTube. And oh my God, I highly encourage everybody to watch a Screamin Jay Hawkins video. My favorite, I think, was the one he did on the Merv Griffin show. But his MO was to start the concert climbing out of a coffin, and after he climbed out of the coffin, he had a long white bone through his nose, and he'd have a skull microphone, you know. And so I've got a couple of pictures here. I'm going to pop a couple of pictures up and show you what Screamin Jay Hawkins looked like in his prime. Okay. And here we go, Screamin Jay Hawkins. There he is. He's climbing out of the coffin to start his concert. Big bone in his nose. Then I got one more to show you what he looked like when he was up performing. Here he is. This
had to have been uncomfortable.
He's now performing, and one of those skulls is his actual microphone. And you got to watch this guy at least one video, because if ever the word screaming was appropriate, this guy really screams. But he's funny, you know. You can tell by looking at him, he's going to be funny. But so anyway, that was one of the originators of shock rock. Started in a coffin, big bone in his nose, and just the on stage antics were just insane. So, is anybody familiar with this guy?
I've heard of him.
Okay, Rachel, what do you know about him?
Well, just like everybody, I think is he relegated to one hit wonder status? Pretty much.
I think he's got a little more than that, I think.
Okay, I know that he started in gosh, what's his name? I want to say Jim Jarmusch's film Mystery Train. He plays the porter, the hotelier at the reception desk, and he's got a young helper with him, and that was a bit role he played. And of course, that also had Clash. Joe Strummer from the Clash was in it. It's a good little film if you've ever seen it. It's called Mystery Train. I recommend it.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have anything to say about Screamin Jay Hawkins?
What is that?
He was on drugs.
What's that?
He was on drugs.
Okay, he's on drugs. Yeah. Okay,
a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna move on now to one of the pioneers of shock rock. He holds a horrific title of Godfather of Shock Rock, and he's the shock rock icon. And we, of course, are talking about Alice Cooper, who became the boogeyman of parents everywhere with his theatrical onstage persona, etc. So Alice Cooper, that's really the first person I can show any vinyl on. So I'm going to do that without further ado. I've got a Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits album right here. Yeah, Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. And I just picked this up.
Beautiful.
And this has got me and my wife listened to this last night. It's got great songs on it. It's got all the good stuff that I like anyway. Let me see if my eyes are going to allow me to read it without finding my glasses. Anyway, here's the vinyl. Vinyl, of course, it's brand new. There's not much to say about it. It's brand new. But we have I'm 18.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, I would have to put my glasses on. This is too hard to read here. Too hard to read. Probably not going to be able to find them. Hold on a second. All right, let's see.
Nice nipple. Oh.
These weren't the ones I was looking for.
Oh.
But we've got Hello Hooray, Elected, No More Mr. Nice Guy. That was a big hit.
Oh, love that one.
No More Mr. Nice Guy. $1 Billion Babies, Teenage Lament, Muscle of Love.
Oh yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
That song's about his heart, by the way.
It's My Body, Desperado, Under My Wheels, Be My Lover, School's Out for the Summer. Okay, I'm not going to read every song on every album. The next one I've got, here's Monroe, the vinyl unicorn. She doesn't want to put this on because it's too hot, her unicorn costume. Say hi, Moe. She's my co-conspirator. My co-conspirator here. Now I have Alice Cooper Goes to Hell.
Great album.
Oh, I love that record.
Yeah, it's a good one. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell.
I have that one too. Yeah.
And it's got, well, as you might have guessed, Go to Hell. You got to dance. I'm the coolest. Didn't we meet? I never cry. And then on the other side, Guilty, Wake Me Gently, Wish You Were Here. I'm always chasing rainbows and going home. That's Alice Cooper. Going to Hell. Okay, and then the last one that I have is an Alice Cooper. And this is going to be a true unboxing because I haven't even opened it yet. And it's Alice Cooper, School's Out.
Oh.
School's Out, baby.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have it too.
I don't have that.
I feel like getting some duplicates tonight.
Laughing.
Yeah, and
Which one do you have? Hey, Royce, do you have the one where the legs come out and the desk opens up?
He doesn't know yet.
This hasn't even been opened yet, so I don't really know. Let's see. What am I doing here?
I have no. I've been asking myself the same question.
I'm gonna take the shrink wrap off because it looks like I'm dealing with a gatefold here. Yeah, this is bizarre. Okay.
It was a very bizarre album.
Oh, this was the one that came with the pink panties.
Holy smokes, he's got the panties.
I
What?
got the pink
He's got the
that
panties.
came with the
Oh,
package.
you put those in
Not
there.
mine.
That's, no. It comes this way.
Those
You
are
put
Royce's
them in there.
personal panties.
That is really cool. For a long time, the reissues would not have the panties in them. So this one they've gone. Is this a Rhino reissue?
I'll have to let's take a look here. This is Friday Music Recordings.
Friday Music.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
excellent. So they've gone to the effort to put the old gimmicks in with it. And,
Yeah, and you know what? When I saw it for sale, it said it came with the panties, but I completely forgot about it.
that's a big deal. People want that all those gimmicks. When you buy it nowadays, when we go back and buy these records that we used to have as kids,
Yeah.
we want to have all the goodies that came with them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
Alice
this is
Cooper,
really-
one of the things when you talk about shock rock and presentation and show is all the gimmicks that came with Alice Cooper records.
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
This is really a strange gatefold. It hinges here. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
That's what old time does. That's your desk folding up.
If you go on the bottom, there should be also fold outs that has it
Yeah.
stand up.
That's right.
Oh, I see. Let me take a quick look. Well, I don't want
Stand it
to
up like a
do that.
desk.
I don't want to do that right now. So anyway, let's go around now. Anybody got some Alice Cooper vinyl? Want to talk about Alice Cooper?
Do I?
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to scream. Oh, shoot.
Okay.
I
Okay,
got
who-
something.
That one.
Richie, you going?
I don't have any vinyl, but
Okay, well, go ahead.
But I've got something here. If I can get it back now. There it is. Okay. Did you know he was born Vincent? No, not Vincent, but oh gosh, where is it?
Vincent Damon from
Yeah. Vincent
Damon Fernier,
Yep.
and
No, I
his
didn't know
father was
that.
a minister of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Mhm.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know
His
that?
father was.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I got one more. His first band was called. I'm gonna let somebody guess.
Naz.
Oh, I know this one too.
The Naz, and then they turned into the Spiders, and then they turned
3
into Alice
seconds.
The
Cooper.
Spiders is what I remember. Yeah.
It's the Earwigs.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Earwigs.
That only
Yeah.
lasted like a
Renamed-
couple weeks.
Renamed the Spiders and then the Naz. But they
That's
already,
cool.
Todd Rundgren already had a band called the Naz, so Alice Cooper had to change that one. But I got to say one more thing, and I'll move on.
Okay.
Royce didn't introduce me right.
Okay, go ahead.
He,
You can introduce
left me.
yourself.
He left me. I'm the only one. He left my show out. Like he hurt my feelings.
no, go
He hurt
ahead.
my feelings, and I almost shut it off. But I said no. I'm correct. I'm Richie Eddings, his way younger brother. That was the first
Way
thing.
younger, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm the host of the Jesus Movement. Just want y'all to know that.
All right. Now, and where do we find you and your Jesus movement?
You find me under Richie Eddings on
All
YouTube.
right.
I'll check it out.
We have a private chat here, so if you want to put your channel in the private chat, I can cut and paste links, and I can
Be
subscribe
wonderful.
to you while as the show's going through.
If I
So
don't,
if you
I
look
don't
up,
know
you'll
if
see
I know
this
how to do
private.
it.
You
How do I
can
do
see
it?
private chat.
Huh?
So there's private chat there. So I'll show how it works.
Okay.
And let's see where we go. There we go.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just while we're doing the rest of it, you can just put it in the private chat, like so.
Okay.
There's a link to my channel.
Sweet.
I can do that any.
Thank you.
I'll subscribe.
Most definitely will check it out for sure.
Yeah.
It
it's
popped
a
up
fun-
and went away. But anyway, you guys go ahead. It's fine.
All right. Did you want me to go, or anybody else have a vinyl?
Yeah,
they
no,
wanna check?
we'll work our way around. Go ahead, and then we'll go
Okay.
around. We'll go around the horn here.
I'll go last. So
I-
just keep
I-
going. I'll go last.
Okay.
I could probably do a whole episode on just Alice Cooper vinyls, but
That'd be cool.
I selected a few. Alice Cooper's Pretty's for You, where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Right.
not the original straight release. It is a re-release. And this is probably, in my opinion, one of the worst Alice Cooper records ever released.
Like that.
This was back when he was a noise rock
At
artist.
least
he
drama.
wasn't, He was a noise rock artist at the time. They barely knew how to play their instruments. They didn't really hone their craft yet. But there is a fun take, though, on this album. I believe it was this one. Yeah, where's it at? Reflected was a big hit, and it later on turned into Elected. So praise for you. Then I have another Fun Goodies album from the inside where it opened up, and it's the Insane Asylum. And then on the back, you've got them escaping. Now, this was a good Alice Cooper record, and all of the others after Pretty For You were amazing. This one was actually written while he was in the Insane Asylum, legitimately in an insane asylum because of his alcohol abuse.
Oh, okay.
And each song is about real situations and real people from when he was on the inside.
Gotcha.
So Jackknife Johnny was a real killer that he met in there.
Okay.
Nurse Rosetta was his nurse. So that's another good take.
Interesting. I never heard that before.
Yeah, and Dada, which is one of the 4 albums that Alice does not remember writing, touring, any of that. And this was one of the only Alice albums that he didn't tour.
Really?
Yeah, because he was dying at the time due to his alcoholism, and he ended up retiring from music, and he didn't come back until years later with Kane Roberts on guitar.
What year was that?
Dada was 1983.
Okay.
1983. And
I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was 1983, and then he came back with Constrictor.
That's a good album, too.
And I just bought this one. This is actually a Record Day re-release. Dragontown.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
which is another. This was during his hair metal period / whatever the hell you would have called it at this time. He he defies genres, but
right.
He also is trying out back then for the whole industrial metal style too. So like Sex, Death, and Money would have been considered industrial. And that's I think all the Alice that I was going to show.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you very much. Hey, Dan, we're gonna put you up next, and then we're gonna go Rachel and then Caitlin.
All right. This I like this one. I think it may be a little rare. I saw it on eBay today for $2. It's the Alice Cooper Show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it's all live cuts. I'm not sure exactly where it was recorded. It doesn't say where it was recorded. Could have been cities.
Great record. That's a great record.
You know, one thing I noticed about this album, it's real odd. Instead of it coming to the side, it comes out the top. You know, and when you flip it around, now the back is upside down. You gotta. It's just kind of odd how they had all that. Plus, it's still got the original insert. Join the Alice Cooper fan club.
Oh, nice.
And you buy T-shirts and all this from 1977.
No, yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's on the album. It's album cover.
Okay.
That's nice, yeah. I like that a lot. It's cool.
I tried to find Welcome to My Nightmare. I just couldn't find it. Nobody had it.
In the back side.
Cool.
I'll sell you Welcome to My Nightmare. I have 2 of them.
Do you? Okay. I got something I'd probably trade you. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
This is the Warner Brothers label.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Classic.
And it's got, now these are all live cuts, every one of them. Under My Wheels, 18, On the Women Lead, Sick Things, Is It My Body, I Never Cry, Devil's Food, The Black Widow, You and Me, I Love the Dead, Go to Hell, We Were Here, and Souls Out. And I've got one other. I believe this is the second album. I have to, maybe somebody can verify that. Love It to Death.
Third album.
Third album.
Third album.
There's the front. There's the back of the whole band. And this was originally recorded on what was it? Straight Records.
Mm-hmm.
And the original release is actually a pink label on the album itself. This one here, I believe this is a 73 release, but the original was a 71. This is based on Warner Brothers on here, but it still has the I don't know if you can see this. It also has the Straight Records logo on here as well as Warner Brothers.
That was the last album he did with Straight Records.
Yes, it was. It is actually on both labels.
Huh.
And this has got let's see, Caught in a Dream, I'm 18, Long Way to Go, Black Juju, Is It My Body, Hallowed Be My Name, Second Coming, Ballad of White Fright, and Sunrise.
Wasn't that the tour that he killed the live chicken on stage, or the audience killed the live chicken?
Yeah, the audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Was in 71. It was a long time ago. In fact, this is the very first album I ever heard from Alice Cooper. And but I don't think it was until I think I heard it before. I don't think I bought the album in 73. And that's all I got on Alice.
Okay. Thank you. That was great. Rachel, any Alice stuff there?
Oh, tons. Lots of first of all, well, stories. First of all, I missed out on getting a chance to see Alice Cooper. I would have liked to have seen him. He played Vancouver. My buddy went over in the 1970s. It was when he broke up from the band. He went his own way, so it was Welcome to My Nightmare. He's sitting on the stage and he fell off the stage, cut his head open.
Oh, no.
Alice leaves the building. They get an ambulance. They take him to Vancouver General. He comes back. So about an hour later, they stitch him up. He comes back. They roll out a couch for him. He's lying all bandaged up with his head there, and he starts singing "Only Women Bleed," which is kind of ironic. And then speaking to the chicken, the throwing of the chicken, that happens in 1969, and it was at the same time that John Lennon did the live piece in Toronto. So it was the Toronto Music Festival, and Alice Cooper was there, and all the just close the door. There we go. So John Lennon, Alice Cooper, all these folks are Eric Clapton. But that's where that occurred with the famous ripping of the chicken apart. He thought they would fly. He says, after the fact that he is a city boy, an urban kid, he had no idea that chickens couldn't fly. So he threw it out there expecting it would take off, take wing. Well, the audience tore the poor thing apart. It was just horrible. And then kind of it was just horrible because he had thrown it out. Somebody threw it back on stage. He threw it out, and then they tore it apart. So
I heard that was actually Colonel Sanders that did that, though.
Whole different gig. So I never did get a chance to see Alice Cooper. I really wish I had. And I used touring around now with the COVID settling down in some areas, they're opening concerts. So it's great to see. And some people just recently saw them or posting pictures. I want to show folks this. My introduction to Alice Cooper was really, and here's the first 5 albums. And you're showing that the back picture. They always had these great, what a motley crew. Yeah. I'll make it. There we go. And so these CDs, of course, they're small. And at my age, I was born in 58. Never mind giving my age away. So, I haven't been able to read the back of a CD in 20 years. But here you go. Pretties for You, as we saw. And then here's the second album. Easy Action was the name of the album. Boom. Yeah. Easy Action. And then the songs on the back. So number 2, and then it's always so many bands seem to get number 3 and love it to death. And this is the one with 18 on it. I can play a bit of that riff, that down, 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 down. So I can do that. And then it was, what was it? School's Out came next, or was it Killer? This one was great because this is where the first of the real shock rock stuff happened. He introduces the guillotine, and he'd hang, and at the end of the song Killer, you hear the zzz, and I remember my friend telling me he blew his speakers with that part of the song, but there he is, old Slewfoot, the Serpent, and there's the boys in the back, Michael Bruce, Dennis Dunaway and gang with the snake. And then here's the Death CD form. It doesn't fold up, but you can see that it's got the features. And in the old days, what yours will do, Royce, will actually fold out. And Captain Pink there, his will fold out and do the same thing. So Alice Cooper broke up. The last thing they did was kind of good. A couple of things I just want to share more. Muscle of Love, fantastic. And the thing I liked about this one was even though it's CD, but they try and replicate some of the stuff, was this drunken sailor scene with the ladies of the evening. There's Alice clutching it. I guess they've got Payday on board.
Yeah.
And so kind of a mess of an album, but I really love the song Teenage Lament. I fell down on my knees. I ran into my room. I fell down on my knees. I thought that 15 was going to be a breeze. So it's got all that teenage angst in it. And he says, I picked up my guitar to blast away the clouds. Somebody yelled in the next room, you better turn that damn thing down. And I do have some OGs here. The thing on this is a US copy, first press. And I've got Alice Cooper. One thing I learned later on as I got older and Alice got older, that I realized Alice could do a real good job with a ballad. You and me ain't no superstars. What we are is what we are. Watch some TV, have some popcorn, stay at home, watch some TV. Here it is. Welcome to My Nightmare. So the band goes away. And I do want to shout out a channel called Calico Silver. One word, Calico Silver. It's run by a guy named Jeff. In the States, super good guy, very, very knowledgeable. He loves Alice Cooper, and he's done some really good videos on Cooper. And of course, I'd be remiss if I did not show Billion Dollar Baby.
I was about ready to ask, do you have that? Because that was the only one you're missing from the original.
This is fantastic.
I wish I had that one. Oh.
My younger brother just loved this thing. And of course, this was it's like a big wallet. And then, of course, no wallet's complete unless you got your bill in there, and so you got your $1 billion to go out there and rule the world with. But all the paraphernalia. So, and the interesting thing about Cooper is that he said we were never really drug people. We were a bunch of beer drinkers, and later Scotch and harder stuff. And of course, that got him into a lot of trouble. So, folks, if you're looking to get the first 5 albums, which many argue are amongst the best, this is a quick and easy way to do it. Very affordable. It's called the Original Album Series. The Original Album Series. So you can check it out and make it affordable, because sometimes you don't feel like going out and buying the bigger version, right? So, somehow you end up with 2 sometimes.
Right. Well, I misspoke when I said I couldn't find Welcome to My Nightmare. I couldn't find it and get it delivered in time, is what I really meant to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Everything was like, first week of November and something like that. So I didn't do it. Okay. Well, that was great.
What knows about Alice Cooper? I'm not sure. How old is Alice?
Alice is 73.
73. Okay, he's 9 years older than me. When I was a kid, I was in 8th grade when I first started listening to him. He hasn't changed at all. He still looks the same. What's up with that? I mean, unlike Keith Richards, he's aged pretty well, I think.
He quit partying. That's what happened.
Yeah, the smart ones did, didn't they? My brother Richie knows these guys. Terry and Lynn Gemmel. My first introduction to Alice Cooper was at Terry's house, and him and Lynn were already listening to it, and this was like 1970, and absolutely loved it. I mean, they were huge fans before I'd even heard it, and that was my introduction to Alice Cooper.
I actually did get to see him in concert in late 74 or early 75. And unfortunately, I was young and partied a little bit too much.
I know. I can relate to that.
all I can remember is sitting in the stands, and the concert started, and they had like a curtain that was down, and it looked like an old timey movie, like, kind of like the what do you call the Keystone Cops, a movie
Right.
like that was playing. All of a sudden, there's a video of you see him running down the street. All of a sudden, he comes flying through the curtains. You know, and there's Alice on stage. That's all I remember. That's all I remember.
You know, I don't think I ever. I don't think I ever partied too much, but I sure tried. You know.
Not obviously, I didn't see Alice during the 70s, but I have had the opportunity to see him many, many times, and the dude puts on a hell of a show.
Oh yeah.
All like 20 times I've seen him, fucking meant. Every single time.
73
Have
years
you
old.
guys
Still got that
listened to
energy.
his radio show Nights with Alice Cooper?
Yeah, really good show.
Oh, I love it. He makes it so fun. He's like always entertaining. He's also like the knowledge rock, because he shares like this day in history or something like that. And it's just
Right.
really good. And he goes into his vault and plays a certain song from a band from the way back. And it's just he makes it fun. I love him.
And he'll also read like fan stories, and he'll use accents and
Yeah.
shit.
I used to. Fun fact too. Back in my community college days, getting my associate's degree, late at night studying, this was even go for my bachelor's I just graduated with. I would be listening to Nights with Alice Cooper. He's on late at night, so I just crank him on and I just study.
He's an intelligent guy as well. Like that's a thing I enjoy about him. It was quite an enjoyable discovery to see him talk about a lot of serious topics and being very real, facing his alcoholism and some of the excesses that he encountered. And and in talking with Richie here, Floyd Moses. With Floyd Moses. The interesting thing is that Alice's testimony, he's talked a lot about his Christian testimony, which is not easy to do out there, especially when you're, kind of synonymous with the cross-dressing devil out there.
Right.
Alice is a very nice guy.
Hey, Caitlin, did you have anything else on Alice before we go to the next one?
Yeah, really quick. Some of his props for his live shows are actually done here in my town.
They are? Really?
Yeah. That horror factory where they make like scary props and all that. Yeah, it's located here in Greeley. So he's been under my nose sometimes this whole time for past couple of years that I didn't even know about it. I'm like, It's like, darn it.
Also, for the last few years,
since
Alice started, he's actually had a guy by the name of Amazing Randy who would do all of his stuff. And he's the same guy that did Chris Angel's Mind Freak, all the tricks.
Oh, I love Chris Angel.
And yeah, when Alice is probably one of the most down-to-earth legends out there. Because, like, I've met him a few times, and the guy treats you like the most important person in the room, even though he is. He will treat you as if you are human. A lot of like big name people are like cocky and
right,
shit. Not him.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one of the coolest things I think I ever saw Alice Cooper do was another streaming show that we don't mention the name anymore. But remember Zach Nielsen? Remember Zach Nielsen?
Yes.
He was dying of
that's
colon
right.
cancer.
Yeah.
And Alice Cooper came on and sang a song for him.
That's right. That was really, really cool. Yeah. I mean, I've never met Alice Cooper. I know Ryan Roxy, who plays in his band. He's friends with some mutual friends of all of ours, sort of. And I met him many times at concerts and stuff like that. In fact, my oldest daughter hired Ryan Roxy's personal band to come up and play when she opened a clothing store. Anyway, nice. Enough of that. So, Caitlin, go on, and then we'll move to our next shock rocker.
Oh, I'm good. I kind of gave you I could go on and on, but I just gave you my top points, so you're good.
Okay. Well, I want to show a couple of pictures I loaded of Alice Cooper.
I like that one.
Now that's a shock rocker. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always with the boa. They keep getting bigger. I wouldn't want to sleep next to one. That's
funny story about one of his snakes.
Go away, as far as I'm concerned.
He was in a hotel one time. I heard this story and heard him tell it many times. He was in a hotel and his snake apparently in the middle of the night went down the toilet and came up another person's toilet, and it happened to be a huge country. It happened to be a huge country artist. I forget who.
No.
And he came out and he's like, "Is this yours?"
Oh.
No. That's too much.
Oh, that's
okay.
a good one,
Let me get these pictures off here now, and we'll move on here. Oops,
That's
wrong
a weird one of Alice.
wrong one. Wrong one. I
Oh, we
skipped.
know all these guys.
Well,
Okay. All right. We're clear of Alice now. We turn the chat back on. Okay. All right. So the next one I want to talk about is Ozzy Osbourne, and he was lead singer, icon, of Black Sabbath. I saw Black Sabbath. I think it was 1970 at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and it was a great show. And I also saw them again at the California Jam 1 at the the Ontario Speedway in Southern California. We were living in Long Beach at the time. And so I got to see Ozzy twice. Terrific shows, both of them. I'm a big fan. I really like both Black Sabbath and just Ozzy. Almost everything they've done I've liked. And Ozzy, he he has the title of the Prince of Darkness and the Godfather of Heavy Metal, fitting titles for someone who unknowingly bit the head off a real bat. And that is a real story, Alice may not have pulled the head off the chicken. He threw it out in the audience and they ripped it to pieces. But somebody threw a bat up on stage. They used to throw all kinds of stuff up on stage. And Ozzy, the way he tells the story, he thought it was like a rubber bat or something. So just to be cool, he just bit the head off. It was a real freaking bat, That's totally crazy. But before I get too far, I got to digress 1 second. Back to Alice Cooper. Okay. Sunset in Hollywood, they have the Rainbow Club. Now, it's not a big club where bands play or anything like that. It's just like a little smaller eatery, and there's all kinds of pictures of famous people all over the walls. And it's actually where Joe DiMaggio took Marilyn Monroe for their first date. Was the Rainbow Club. Well, there was a little loft upstairs in the Rainbow Club, and Alice Cooper was kind of the ringleader, and they were known as the Hollywood Vampires. Mm-hmm. Now, I've heard different versions of who all was a Hollywood vampire, but the first version I heard was Alice Cooper, it was Tom Petty, it was George Harrison, starting to sound like a band here, and Jeff Lynne was in the band, Ringo, the group Ringo, and when John Lennon was kicked out by Yoko Ono, he'd show up more frequently, But I've heard other versions. People talk about, let's see, Harry Nilsson being part of it, Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees being part of it, Bernie Taupin, Elton John's songwriter showing up. But the main ones I heard about were the ones I mentioned. George Harrison, I think Ringo was one of them, Jeff Lynne, Alice Cooper, and a couple of others. It's hard to remember. But this was a private club. It was reserved for them. People couldn't just wander up and down. It was just strictly for the Hollywood vampires. Anyway, I had to throw that in before I got too far into Ozzy. So this is my first Ozzy offering, Black Sabbath Paranoid. And I've had versions of this, whether they be 8 tracks or CDs or whatever, for as far back as I can remember. But this is the great album with the song Paranoid, Iron Man, and so many other cool songs on it. Black Sabbath's Paranoid. It's just a great album. And I've got a couple of other things here for Ozzy. Okay. This is a picture disc. And I was really happy when I found this. I mean, I already had the album, but when I saw this, I had to get it. Blizzard of Oz, nice. Ozzy Osbourne picture disc. And Blizzard of Oz was great. This has a song, Crazy Train, with Randy Rhoads playing guitar. And I tell you what, I absolutely love that song, Crazy Train. And I love Randy Rhoads' guitar playing. It seems like Ozzy's always got fantastic guitar players with him, I mean, more recently when he had Zach Wilde in the band, like I say, recent, where's the time go? No More Tears, vintage. Zach Wilde, I thought his guitar playing was fantastic, and I know he's gone on, he's got his own band and stuff like that. And I guess he's doing pretty good. But
I think Zach still is back with him again.
He's back with him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There for a while they had Gus G, and then Gus G got fired or left or whatever happened. Then they brought back Zach after 10 years.
Okay. Now I was given a few months ago, and I haven't even completely cleaned it up yet, about 24 albums. I'm calling it my vinyl hoard that was found in a storage shed, and all the albums were wet, and some of them still smell like mold. But I was so excited when my daughter brought them in. They were her exes, and said, "Hey, Clay said you can have these." And you could smell kind of moldy and stuff like that. And I started cleaning them up, and thank God for Royce's magic vinyl cleaner. Anyway, so it really made a big difference because I was so tired. I'd been up since like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was fading when my daughter walked in with this big stack of albums, and I was so excited. I cleaned about 8 of them. I mean, completely cleaned them and played them before I went to bed. I don't know how I did that. But here's one of them. It's another copy of, Blizzard of Oz, the vinyl copy of Blizzard of Oz. And you can see at the bottom, it's been wet. A bunch of these were stuck together, and pieces of the covers are missing and stuff. But I tell you what, I took these out and they were covered with powder and dust, things like that.
So was Ozzy back in the day.
Royce's magic vinyl cleaner, and oh my God, I played them and they sounded absolutely excellent. And if you look at this vinyl, if you'd have seen it when it came in, I've got some I haven't cleaned yet, but I'll have to show a later date. But if you look at this vinyl, I mean, as bad as that cover was, and some of them actually had black mold spores inside, and the sleeves had been all eaten up. But this vinyl is absolutely pristine. And I joined a group called Album and Cover Matchup out of the UK, and I'm gonna give them a list of things I'm looking for. And one of those things will be this sleeve, this cover. I mean, so that's the Blizzard of Oz, and this is one of my favorite Ozzy. I mean, I like them all. I mean, Paranoid with Black Sabbath, and No More Tears. There's a whole bunch. There's actually some I haven't even heard. There's so much out there. He's got a huge body of work right now, and what's amazing right now is the vinyl thing took off like crazy, and everybody's capitalizing on it. Everybody takes a single album, turns it into a box set, And I've seen all kinds of Ozzy stuff out there, colored vinyl, 2 album sets, one yellow, one red. A friend of mine bought that recently. And there's just a ton of stuff. You could take an album like Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin, and they've turned it into a 3-album box set, and it's all just one album, just mix of it. Okay, so my next one that I really like is Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman.
Classic.
Yeah,
That's a good album.
And you do that really good. I forgot about that.
That's good. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites. I don't remember it, but it's pretty good.
I got you going, didn't I? Oh shoot. Yeah.
Okay, but this was part of that damaged vinyl hoard in the storage room where they all got wet and they were all stuck together when I got them. But anyway, so I once again I cleaned them up, and they played wonderfully. I'm just so happy, that they turned in. And I bought all these nice expensive sleeves for them. They're not too expensive actually, but they're the static-free, archival quality. So anyway, once again, the vinyl. I know it's hard to really tell when you do this kind of a thing, but there's not a scratch or a scuff on either of these Ozzy albums, and they play super clean. And if you'd have seen them when I still have some where there are 3 albums stuck together that I can't get apart yet without destroying them, So, like I said, there's about 24 albums, and they're all really good. So anyway, I'm halfway through cleaning them up. I would like some new covers if I could get them someday. Accidentally grabbed this Rush. It was actually part of it. part of my vinyl. One of the better
Cool.
sleeves. One of the better sleeves. Not part of our unboxing tonight. Okay, so those are my Ozzy offerings, and I actually have, believe it or not, a few photographs. So I think we'll go ahead and show a couple of photographs right now. Here we go. I love that album. Look how young Ozzy is.
Wow.
Now that's shocking.
Yeah, finals week.
That was when Ozzy stopped aging, wasn't it? That's
It looks like it.
Okay, here's the gang here. I can't. You don't even hardly recognize Ozzy. He's so young. I recognize him there.
number one.
And this is my favorite. I love the picture of him. This has got to be Blizzard of Oz. He's holding up Randy Rhoads' guitar player. You know, and I loved his guitar playing. I love this picture right here.
That was also from the album cover for Tribute.
Okay.
When Randy died, they released the album Tribute, which was like a best of his.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's my my unboxing of Ozzy. Okay, Rich, have you got anything on this, or?
I'll just say a couple of things that I just looked up here on the internet. Okay. It's there. It says former First Lady Barbara Bush loves his music.
That's
All
right.
Okay,
cool.
so this one may or may not be true, but during a White House press club dinner, then it doesn't have the whole thing here. Wait a minute, maybe it does.
He appeared. He was invited to the White House, I think, is what they were saying.
Oh, really? Okay,
when
there
Bush
it
was
is.
president. Yeah, he actually did show up.
It also says there's a wax statue of him that pees when people get close.
Yeah, and also fun side note: Ozzy was at a wax museum one time, and they replaced the real Ozzy with with the wax statue. Like he was actually sitting there, and when people approached, he'd scare the shit out of them.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny. I never heard that before.
He'd be like, ah!
He just looked at a couple of things. We're going to move on. I don't know if that was a good one to say, but anyway.
It's all good. Hey, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I've got, of course, Blizzard of Oz, which we
I
kind of
like that cover. What do you want for that cover?
Yeah, right.
I'll trade you 2 Rush and a.
Oh, do something better than Rush. Come on.
Then we have Diary of a Madman.
Right. What do you want for that cover?
He's going to try and take all my Ozzy covers.
Start showing up to get records, Royce.
And then, of course, this album was released because right after Randy died, Brad Gillis joined, and they decided to do they were doing an all Black Sabbath set list. And this is a live album, the only album ever released with Brad on guitar for Ozzy. It was a live album. They're all Sabbath songs. Side 1 is Symptom of the Universe, Snowblind, Black Sabbath. Side 2 is Fairies Wear Boots, War Pigs, The Wizard. Side 3 is NIB, Sweet Leaf, Never Say Die. And then side 4 is Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Iron Man / Children of the Grave, and Paranoid.
Oh, that's really a good album.
Good.
It was live from the Ritz in New York on September 27th / 26th/27th in 82.
Okay. Wow.
And that's all I have for the Ozman. Oh, that's all I got.
That's great. Okay, let's see. Which end are we going to start on? Kate, Rachel? Who wants to
I can go ahead.
Okay.
Obviously, in my opinion, the classic Ozzy's probably the best stuff right there. But I also like the guitarist he had. Was it Zakk Wylde? When Zakk Wylde joined, oh my goodness.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, holy Moses. That's like just brilliant.
That's how I felt, man. That guy was an animal.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like eons ago. I used to have Guitar Hero, and I cannot tell you how much I struggled trying to play Crazy Train on that. It doesn't matter if it was beginner. It doesn't matter if it was an expert. I could not pass it for the life of me.
Is there no love for Jakey Lee tonight? No, no.
I love Jakey Lee.
Also, another fun fact is that I'm a metal music album reviewer, and I actually got to review Zakk Wylde's album Black Sabbath, where he does his own cover of like the classic Black Sabbath songs. He did a really good job with that record.
Did you know that he recorded that record in the same amount of time as Black Sabbath back in when they first recorded? Black Sabbath recorded, mixed, mastered that entire album in 24 hours.
Really?
And Zakk Wylde did the same thing with the same technology.
That is really cool. I didn't even know that. That's
which
really
means cool. Back then that was all done in one take. Because there's no way they could have mixed and mastered that and shit in 24 hours.
No way. He just did a good job covering it. It was just fun comparing his cover to the original cover. It was just really fun. Listen, I highly recommend it for sure.
He sounds like Ozzy when he sings.
Oh man, yeah, Ozzy, he's something else. So let's see. I guess Dan, you're up.
Well, I knew there would be some duplicates tonight, but there's two of us out here with covers here.
Oh man,
nothing wrong with that one.
Oh, look at that cover. Oh my God, I want that cover so bad. I'm going to trade you some albums for that cover.
Of course, you need the album sleeve too.
Well, I'll give you 3 Dog Night and 2 Van Morrison.
Oh, nice.
I tell you what,
I actually love both of them. 3 Dog Night and Van Morrison. Okay, so what is that? I couldn't tell what that was.
That's the lyrics on the album cover.
Oh, okay.
Sleeve.
Gotcha.
Of course, this is by Jet Records. Still in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the last time I played these albums? Been years. But I did have a run-in with Ozzy a couple of times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, back in 2007, Sharon Osbourne contacted me. That's when I was doing the Ride for Time. She founded Ride for Time in 2005. She contacted us in 2007. Wanted us to do it for Ozfest in 2008. So we had a meeting. Ozfest was here. It was actually my birthday, July 29th, back in 2007. And I think it was the night before. We with Ozzy and Sharon, and Zach, the whole band actually, and work on details for the following year for the Ride for Time at Ozfest. And I was lucky enough, since it was my birthday, the entire band autographed the poster for 2007 for me.
Oh wow,
that was a good 50th birthday present right there.
Oh, cool!
Wow.
Very nice indeed.
Let me ask one quick question. Is it just me, or is anybody else hearing Dan skip a little bit, or
he's skipping?
He's breaking up a little bit. Yeah, and sometimes when you're talking, your mouth's not moving too. So I just want you to know that, because I know you've got a lot of fancy new equipment. And it's not always easy to get it all dialed in.
Okay. What else I got here? Well, I'll show you, it hasn't been shown tonight. The Ultimate Sin. That's a really good one.
Yeah. No, look at that. Yeah. See, I got to get my Ozzy stuff caught up. I'm just trying to get my Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix caught up, and I've been working on my Beatles, but I'm waiting. I've got all the studio albums for Zeppelin and a bunch of box sets and stuff. But
wait, show that other picture, that other side again.
I'm missing a lot of Ozzy. It's really kind of pissing me off.
Oh, this here?
He's a big discography.
Yeah. He also has all the re-releases that have songs that wasn't on the original, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's a cool cover there.
His band, his album Osmosis alone has 25 unreleased songs.
See, that picture looks like me.
That looks like you.
Of course, you got
I lied to
album
you.
sleeve.
I lied.
Looks kind of
That's
like my
neat.
ex's mom. I don't know.
I would stand in for that picture.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Were you part of the cleanup crew after Ozzy visited the Alamo? You live in Texas.
No, I wasn't down there.
Okay, just curious.
No, he got hell for it though. He was banned for quite a while.
know, yeah.
And he finally went back down there, and only because Sharon encouraged him to go back.
Right.
And but they got clearance, and he was cool.
Yeah. I was so glad when he made amends with everybody. You know?
Good Lord.
If there's two things I really like, one is Ozzy Osbourne, and two is the Alamo. While my sister had the big Barbie dollhouse and all the Barbie shit, I had the Alamo, war fort, and all the soldiers and cannons and stuff. And the story of the Alamo is like an all-time favorite for me, And I remember when the new Alamo came out, the one with what is that actor's name? I mean,
Dennis
you
Quaid.
Huh?
Dennis
no.
Quaid.
Well, Dennis Quaid was in it, but I'm talking about the one that played Davy Crockett.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he was married to Angelina Jolie for a while. What was his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
When that version of the Alamo came out, I have like ingrained in my mind the old version from the '60s with John Wayne and Richard Widmark and so many great old actors. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm ever going to go see the new Alamo. There's no way. And years went by, and I finally saw it, and I watched it twice in a row, and I've been looking to buy it ever since. I really love the new version of the Alamo. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
I think that was it. Oh yeah. Also, the Bark at the Moon.
No, look at that.
That's a good cover too. Yeah.
Man, you have some Ozzy, buddy.
Dang.
Oh,
I read somewhere that Ozzy dressed up like that and scared the shit out of his kids on their birthday.
That's funny.
This great Halloween stuff, huh?
I think that's pretty cool. I almost had another ride with Ozzy 4 years ago. We kind of crossed paths, but didn't see each other. It was on August 21st of 2017. We had the total solar eclipse. And so I planned a trip to Southern Illinois to be right in the path of that total solar eclipse. And about 50 miles up the road, they had the what was that called? It was a concert with Ozzy. They timed it, so he was on stage singing "Bark at the Moon" during the total solar eclipse. And we stopped at the festival grounds the day before, and saw the stage and everything. And I picked me up a bottle of Ozzy wine, which is pretty cool, $50 for that damn thing. But so I got a thing of Ozzy wine, and that thing hasn't gained in value at all. It's still worth $50.
I'm sorry, I forgot to check with the Hog's Breaths Inn in Carmel for you. I did a little. The reason I always mention when I'm talking about my show is the playlist vinyl album unboxing, because there for a while I had about 12 playlists, and sometimes it was hard to find that one. I've got the construction and real estate playlist. I've got tours of famous places, why we love the Central Coast. I had too many playlists. I've condensed them down to where they all fit on one page now. But I always mention the vinyl album unboxing because people go there and they look at this like tours of famous places, or what is this Royce Construction crap, and they wind up not being able to find it and leaving. So that's why I always mention that. But anyway,
that concert from the clip is called Moonfest. That's what it was.
Okay, cool.
Oh, shit.
Well, it sounds like you're up, Rachel.
Okie doke. So probably like many people, especially I guess, born in '58, as I was mentioning. Oh, and before I go into Ozzy, I may also do Hollywood Vampires.
Oh yeah,
I love that record.
Hollywood
Vampires.
This is they've only done 2 albums. I think they've only done 2. And this is the one with Heroes on it. They did a cover of Bowie's Heroes on it.
That's a great cover of it too.
Yeah, it's fun. They're fun, right? They play. It's fun. I guess that's the best way to describe those guys. But so I just thought, because you had mentioned it, Royce. So my introduction was Paranoid. So now,
nice. Yeah,
like many people in my generation, the CDs came out and they said
absolutely.
they don't scrack or popple or pip, so they'll be better than records. I go, okay. So I got rid of all my records, and then I got all these things.
Well, you know, a lot of us are in that boat.
And then Napster came along, and then I got rid of all these. So I had nothing. And then I started watching YouTube, and then through the watching the people, you know, I started looking at Beatles and looking at live performances of bands that I like I go, oh, this YouTube's great. I wonder if they've got that old Small Faces thing. Oh, look, there it is, Itchy-Coo Park. So YouTube brought a lot of music back. So then I started collecting these. Yeah. So I had to get a Paranoid back in, and this is a Rhino reissue, and they do these deluxe, so it's got the original record, but then it's also got secondary tunes, kind of dry runs and demos and this sort of thing that you got with it. And so back in the 70s, when I first got this, I just loved it because of the main song, Paranoid, and then Iron Man was a revelation. I was just primed for this stuff because I'm like 14 years old.
Right,
so for
that's
a 14-year-old to be hitting this stuff, and like so many kids, you know, it's a confusing time, and you know, family troubles. You're trying to be an adult, and no one will give you any respect, and you're fighting to find your way in the world. Then I got this thing. Now, this cover always freaked me out.
Oh, yeah.
This is Sabbath's debut album with the witchy girl on the front. And this is just a creepy album. So it really put the shock into shock rock.
Shock rock.
And
starting with the very first song, Black Sabbath. It
was so dark. So later, and of course, I'm not a Christian. I first encountered this stuff. But then later on, I have a really powerful personal conversion experience, and I purged all this stuff. This had to go. It was important to me at that point to get rid of even though I liked the music so much, but there was a darkness about it. When you got that line, you know, my name is Lucifer, please take my hand. Oh yeah. Oh my God. When you're 14, it's rocking your world, but you know, when you're 17, you're kind of, I don't know if I really want Lucifer, you know, to be holding my hand. So
no, not at all.
And then there's this one, Black Sabbath 4. This is Ozzy. I never made the jump to Ronnie James Dio. So when Dio comes in,
I didn't either.
But I stayed with the Oz, man. And this one, unlike the Rhino issues, just a single disc, but it's great to have it. Wheels of Confusion. I love the thing. And as a 15-year-old, I was smoking pot. So my thing would be, I'd come home, my parents would be there, and I'd put the headphones on, and I'd be a little high, and I just kind of trip and just kind of block the world away listening to this stuff. So it kind of fulfilled a purpose, or it played a role for me at that age. The one I'm missing, and I don't have, because I've only started collecting vinyl last 3 years, is I don't have any Sabbath on vinyl. That'll likely change with Sabotage. I've been looking to get that one back in the collection. And so I got these before the vinyl came back, and now I'm starting to collect vinyl. And as you saw with the Alice Cooper, a lot of that stuff's coming in on, records. So that's kind of my take on Black Sabbath and shock rock that way, is that some of it lent into the occult, which is part of the shock value, I think. And also gender play with the glam rock who acts like David Bowie, and even Alice Cooper, when you see the back of those early albums where Alice is wearing more effeminate looking look before he changed and evolved, and his look does evolve over the years. But I am a fan. I do like Black Sabbath, and I think part of the thing is, I can get these things back because they aren't what they were to me. I was smoking dope, and I had like this vision of the Beatles going up into heaven on these 4 slabs of concrete, glorious, their hair waving in the wind, and I'm ripped. I go, yeah, man, that's where the Beatles are. I was like pretty much worshiping them. Like I thought they were the greatest thing I'd ever seen. And so I had to let it go. And then sometimes when you let go, you can get back because you can handle it with more perspective. But I think as a young person, I was like,
yeah, no, it was hard. It was a lot of, oh my gosh. Me and my friends used to hitchhike to my older brother's house in Las Vegas. He was 9 years older than me. He'd say, hey, you guys, come on out. I got Sgt. Pepper's, album here, and I got some good weed. And we were 15 years old. We'd hitchhike to Las Vegas and go to my brother's house, smoke weed, and listen to Sgt. Pepper's.
Oh, you would have been the coolest guy to hang around with for your friends, because we go, hey, let's go to Royce's brother's place because, we're going to have some fun there.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stories. I don't really want to tell them right now, but Rachel, I was working on the construction site the other day, and I was trying to listen to your show at the same time and be a little bit productive. But you guys were talking about the difference between vinyl and CDs, quality, stuff like that. And I never got a chance, but I wanted to say that the thing that stands out to me most about that comparison is what Neil Young, who I have tremendous respect for, said about the difference. He said, because I had friends telling me, oh man, Royce, you got to start buying these things. You can hear people breathe on them. You can hear people breathe. I never heard anybody breathe. But anyway, so Neil Young says, when the digital format, the CD, the music is like going through a screen door. And what comes through this screen is very, very clear. But because there's a screen, a lot of it bounces off. And the album is a much more pure form of the music. That's what Neil Young said.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have so much respect for him and his ability, I'll have to go with that.
I think I guess the science of it is that what happened is they got into the sound wars, so that they'd compress these, so you get your sound, but then they compress the sound, and then it loses the dreaded word in the vinyl community is the audiophiles. It loses sound stage depth, presence, dimensionality, and once you lose those aspects, the music can lose a lot of its appeal. Not to digress too far, my lovely wife Sue is here. I did an experiment with her. I said, I've got Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. I want you to hear the song The Boxer on CD. So I put the CD in the tray, just as standard. There was no special work on it. It's just the one you get off the shelf. Put it in, we played it, and she goes, yeah, that's good, I like it. Okay, now I want you to hear this. Pulled out the original 2i Columbia, put it on, and it had scratch, and a little pop and crackle, but she goes, oh my, she could tell the difference.
Really tell the difference.
It was so warm and impactful, and it was stirring, it was stunning. The difference in it, how it moved you and inspired, incredible. And the CD in that case was not equal to the task.
Right. Okay.
So but it will vary. It depends on the disc. These Rhino reissues on CD sound very, very good. They're very warm. They've got a lot of sound presence, soundstage, all the stuff you want in music. So it's not lost.
Right. Okay, cool. We're going to move on now to Kiss, shock rockers. In particular, Gene Simmons. The Kiss Army can't wait to see Gene Simmons start spitting blood out. So I think I'm going to go ahead right now and just show a couple of pictures. I'm going to show a couple of pictures right now of okay, this is good too.
I like that one.
No, that's shock rock right there. Okay, here we go. Another one. Yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Stop the demon. Yeah.
And then we've got the group. I mean, this is cool. I have to tell everybody, be honest with everybody, I was never a Kiss fan. And then I wound up with some co-hosts, and we all know who they are. Good guys, Pat and Michael McVeigh and Jason and Michael Altini. Those guys are Kiss fanatics. They buy everything they can get their hands on. I mean, they'll buy, figurines, and Michael McVeigh's got gold albums, Kiss albums all over his wall. And anything they come across, they've got all the bootlegs from all the different countries. And I bought a Kiss's Kiss World. Walmart had them in beautiful red, splattered vinyl. Beautiful. Sound really good too. And of course, being a best hits, there was quite a few songs there that I did like. And so they finally came out with Destroyer and Rock and Roll Over. And I understand now, and I told these guys that, I understand now why you guys are buying all these bootlegs. You're buying from Spain, you're buying from Germany, you're buying from, all over Europe, all these bootlegs of Kiss, because Rock and Roll Over and Destroyer hadn't been pressed in the U.S. since 1985. I just bought them about a month ago at Best Buy, for like $20 a piece. And so that's why these guys are buying all this other stuff, because it wasn't available, except for the original pressings. So anyway, I bought those, and then I was in a used record store, and I came across Kiss Alive 2. And I thought, well, you know what? I bought that. And like I said, Jason, one of the guys that was one of my co-hosts, really good friend of Pat, another co-host, he's actually got a podcast, Kiss My Collectibles. And there's like almost 4,000 subscribers. And he'll do a show, and there'll be thousands upon thousands of views. I mean, the Kiss Army is like nothing I've ever seen before. The Kiss Army is like just fiendish about their band, And I said to Jason, hey, Jason, why don't you, drop my name at, one of your shows and say, hey, I've been on a show every week with Royce here, Royce in the house. And he goes, they only care about Kiss. I said, okay. End the conversation. But anyway, so I'll go ahead and open a little Kiss here. And again, this is Kiss Destroyer. And it hasn't been published or printed in the United States since 1985. And I just picked this up a month ago at Best Buy, Kiss Destroyer. I love the shoes these guys. I don't know how they get them off the ground. The shoes they wear. They're just massive. And so anyway, this is a popular album. Destroyer's mentioned a lot, And I'm not going to pull it out. It's brand spanking new. And I'm not going to pull out Rock and Roll Over, but I do have the Kiss Alive 2 I found in the used vinyl store.
Very nice.
And I know the guys, Kiss lovers love Alive 1 and Alive 2. I'm not sure which one most of them love the most. But so anyway, now I went from never having been a Kiss fan to having 5 Kiss albums, including the double album set Alive 2, Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, Ladies Room, Make Love, Love Gun. My younger brother was in a band they named Love Gun. I know where they got the name now. Christine 16, Shock Me. Okay. Tomorrow and Tonight, Hard Luck Woman. Hard Luck Woman is also on my best hits album, and I actually played that on YouTube by itself with the red splattered vinyl spinning. I did get a notification on copyright, but I wasn't monetized, so it didn't matter, they said. But anyway, Hard Luck Woman, that's a really good song. I like that song. And of course, Beth, I love the song Beth, and I have a video of my granddaughter and Eric Singer, the drummer for Kiss, singing Beth together. And there's an all-star lineup behind him. You got Dizzy Reed, the keyboarder for Guns N' Roses, playing keyboards. You've got Steven Adler, the original drummer for Guns N' Roses, back there playing drums. Switching off with Tommy Clufetis, the drummer for Ozzy and Black Sabbath, whatever they're touring as. Switching off with him and Eric Singer when he wasn't singing with my granddaughter on drums. And then you had, you talk about an all-star lineup. It was just a great group there. Right here in Paso Robles, they used to come up regularly and play. And my granddaughter got to get up there and sing Beth with Eric Singer. And it's a good video. I'll put it back on Facebook. Every time I tried to put it on the show so I could play it on the show, it said it was the wrong format or something, the way it was recorded. So anyway, one of these days we'll get that figured out. So anyway, so that's Kiss, and the blood spitting was the big thing with Kiss as far as shock value, and of course their costumes and the antics and the fire. And I miss seeing them. I was in England 2 years ago with my oldest daughter and her husband, and the granddaughter that staying with them, and another granddaughter, and we were on babysitting duty, my wife and I. They told my wife, if you come to Europe with us and babysit our child, I mean, you'll get to go out and do things too, but whenever we want to go out, you get to babysit. We'll pay for your way. And so my wife said, okay, yeah, okay. Why not? A trip to Europe, right? And Kiss was on their end of the road tour at the time. And we went down to the hotel we were staying in London, and Eric Singer came out. We walked around London together. And we got back to before we left, he goes, hey, Gene would like to see you. And so my son-in-law got to go up to the room and meet Gene Simmons and talk a little bit and stuff.
Wow.
Then we just walked around, and I started getting the bug. I mean, as I said, I've never been a big Kiss fan, but to see them live, from what I've heard about their live performances, I would have loved to have gone to do that. I remember Eric looked right at me when we were partying, and he goes, I'll see you guys tonight. I was like, yeah, sure. I wish. Anyway, so Richie, anything on Kiss? I noticed the song. I noticed the song Love Gun. You had a band called Love Gun. Did you take that from the Kiss song?
Well, I never had a band called Love Gun.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Where'd you get that from?
I thought you had a band.
Thanks anyway, though. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Well, I definitely remember Richie and the Crocodiles. Everybody wearing
that's
suits,
one. Yeah, that definitely.
red high top tennis shoes. Yeah,
we had one called Fresh Candy.
that's right.
And Love Gun, and not Love Gun, but Richie and the Crocodiles, and we had I had there's quite a few of them. Pearl Gun, there you go.
Pearl Gun, that must be what I confused it with.
Right.
Yeah.
Pearl.
You know, my younger brother Rich and his wife Jackie formed the Eddings duo, and there was in the Review Journal there was a writer that wrote up all the big acts. I mean, like Frank Sinatra's over here, Dean Martin, and this and that. And then he'd say, and you've got to see this must-see duo called the Eddings duo. They're fantastic. And that was my brother and his wife. And you got Wayne Newton offered you a job guitar playing, right?
Yeah, it was a rhythm guitar player a long time ago. I was only 18.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the story I got from Mom and Dad is because you and Jackie's duo was doing so well, and they were convinced you were the next Donnie and Marie. You decided not to.
Oh my God. Let's not go that far.
Okay. All right. So anything on Kiss, my brother?
No, I think you guys covered Kiss on previous shows, but no, go ahead. Go on down the line there.
Oh, okay. All righty. Okay, Michael.
Kiss, who's that? No, I don't.
What?
No, I'm with Royce though. I've never been I like their music, but I've never been a huge Kiss fan. So I don't really have much of anything Kiss. I was more of an Alice Cooper guy growing up.
I thought they had a great gimmick, but I never really listened to them much until maybe just about 10 years ago. I started listening to a few of their songs and stuff. But
okay.
I know they have a lot of big fans.
I guess Dan, we'll move to you, buddy.
Yeah, back in 1976 is when it was 75 is when I discovered Kiss, and I loved that band. I mean, anything they had, I bought. But it got to a point. I finally saw my concert during the Destroyer tour back in August of '76, and then I kind of got burned out on them. I was like, okay, I don't know what it was. I just suddenly didn't become a big fan anymore. I still liked them. Nothing wrong with Kiss. I just wasn't a devout follower like some of these, Mount McVeigh and all. I stopped being that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although I still had run-ins with Kiss a few years later. I mean, I still met Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley at the Kiss convention back in '95. Got to meet them then, got their autographs. Ran into Gene Simmons again out here in my city where they opened up Rockin' Brews. and he was out there for the groundbreaking ceremony. And first meal I ate from Rock and Brews was served to me by Gene Simmons, which is pretty cool. In 2009, I hired Ace Frehley to play at my event, Right Time. So got to meet him. And the only original Kiss member I never met was Peter Criss. Never met Peter Criss. But, I still like Kiss. It just, I think what it was, I think it was when the Kiss meets the, what was it?
The Phantom.
The Phantom. That just blew me away. I said, oh, come on. They're cartoon characters now. And it kind of just turned me off. And it was probably one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Oh, my God.
But then I saw Gene, how Gene was. Gene's all about the money. And I respect him for that, because anybody can make as much money as he has. I respect him.
450 million last I read.
And the thing is, I think he's more about the money than anything. It's all about the money. And it would, good luck to him. I wish I had, that type of ambition like he does. But, when you lose, because the music isn't all that, I'll be honest. It's very basic. There's nothing really technical about it.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I brought the Kiss album home. My wife and I have never had a Kiss album or a Kiss CD until I bought these last few. And I was sitting there with Betty. I said, listen to this with me and tell me give me your honest opinion on this. Because I'm trying to figure out how I feel. I mean, there were some songs I liked, don't get me wrong. And we're sitting there, and I said, what do you think? And she looks at me, and she goes, Teeny Bob. And I started laughing. And I said, you really hit the nail on the head. It really is, most of those songs.
When I first started listening to Kiss, I was 18 years old. I'm 64 years old now. My taste has changed over the years. Kiss has stayed the same. Kiss has stayed the same, targeting the same age group. I outgrew that years ago.
Yeah, right.
But I've been to several Kiss concerts. I worked with a band, for several years, a band called Aska, and Kiss was their idols. I mean, they love Kiss. I knew Dimebag Darrell for 20 years. He idolized Ace Frehley. So I can see where Kiss has made an influence in the music industry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But I just never went, except for the very beginning. I love Kiss at the beginning. I was stationed on an island over in the South Pacific, and that's the only thing that got me through for a year and a half was coming home, getting stoned, listening to Kiss and Black Sabbath, as a matter of fact, those two bands. And Kiss didn't ever change, and I did, so I kind of outgrew them, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if you look at some of our friends that are still really, really into them, they post pictures of them like, 10 and 12 years old with autographs and Gene Simmons and, so they go back a long ways with them, and grew up with them, and listening to them and going to their shows. So I can totally understand how people become really fanatical about them that started at such a young age,
To me, I think it basically might turn off is when it became more about the money, than the music. Mm-hmm. And how many farewell tours they had? Come on.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And to be truthful, Ozzy did that too. Back when No More Tears came out, that was been his last tour.
Right.
They were called the No More Tours tour.
No More Tours tour.
But they run low on cash. They got to get more money, so they go on their tour again.
What's crazy about the whole Ozzy's last tour? The first No More Tours was because he was misdiagnosed with Parkinson's. Oh, yeah. And then it came out he didn't have Parkinson's. Then 20 some years later, he actually gets Parkinson's, and now he's touring No More Tours again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that's kind of weird.
That is.
Totally. Seems like a lot of artists that Cher had several farewell concert tours. I would think you would do a farewell tour and be done.
Yeah.
But you also, in the same respect, you see a lot of bands getting back together because you see they can still suck more of that money out of their
right.
They did in the 70s.
Oh. The vinyl thing has really brought it all out. Like I said, every individual album now has been turned into a box set. 3 albums.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's like how can we package it this time? With the same stuff and still more money. It's different, it's new. people are going to want it if it looks different. But still the same.
And believe me, I've fallen prey to all of it. You know, I mean, I've got the Jimi Hendrix 8-album box set, you know, released by the Hendrix family. They're re-releasing them now, but mine was from the year 2000, still in the shrink wrap. I mean, it's like that fat, you know. It's still in the shrink wrap, and it's the only one with the velvet cover. And I haven't been able to bring myself to take the shrink wrap off of that. It's 21 years old and it's never been opened. I feel like now I got to buy a newer copy so I have one to listen to. But these are all like you know, remakes of this song. There might be 3 or 4 Purple Haze versions, and none of them are the actual studio albums. They're all stuff that was made while they were making the studio album that they put together, and it's pretty Harold is a great album, but I just I haven't listened to mine yet. I can probably go online and find it.
Speaking of old bands that are still out touring, if you notice my little icon there, I'm going to see the Rolling Stones again on Tuesday.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Almost, yeah.
Well, I told you today when you mentioned that you got tickets that it's been it's been at least 2 years now. But when they announced the Stones No Filters tour, I was on a job site and I got on my phone. I found some tickets. I bought 2 tickets. It was $500 worth of tickets. Betty booked a flight. It's only San Diego. We can drive there in 5 hours, but there's something special about flying. Betty booked a flight, booked a hotel room, and then COVID hit, and they canceled the show. And so I called up trying to get my money back, and they go, no, it's not canceled, it's postponed.
Yeah.
No refund on a postponement. Mm-hmm. And time kept going and going, and I was getting kind of pissed off, and I called again. No, it's just postponed. Then I called a third time, and they say, hey, you missed the window. You had so much time in the last month to ask for a refund, and you don't get one now. You missed the window of opportunity. I said,
what? That's horrible.
I've been calling and calling, so I had to turn my secret weapon loose on my wife, and my wife got on the phone with them, and the check was deposited into our account the next day.
You know, my son and I are both Navy veterans, and my son is he's hooked up with some type of veteran association. Sometimes they give away free stuff to veterans, you know, and not free, but he ended up getting four tickets to the Rolling Stones for $15. So, now last time I saw the Stones was 1989 when I had front row center, literally front row center in a Cotton Bowl with 8,000 people behind me. We didn't have those good seats this time. You know, we're in the lower level, but it looks like a pretty good view. So I may actually try to stream a little bit, you know, while I'm there.
Yeah, do that, please. I mean, I saw them Long Beach, the Long Beach Arena. It was the Exile on Main Street tour. And it was either, and I have the hat and the T-shirt. No, that was Bridges to Babylon. Sorry. We saw that, and me and a bunch of my friends. You know, we had an apartment together down there, and that was a great show, Exile on Main Street. And 26 years later, somebody gave us tickets to see the Bridges to Babylon show. The only downside was we had to go to Portland, Oregon to see it. You know, so we went up to Portland, Oregon to see him, and it was really interesting seeing the age of all the people out in the lobbies and stuff, you know, that go around the room. But so my wife joked the biggest change, Royce, between the first concert and the second concert was the size of the panties that were being thrown on stage. And I never forgot that. You know?
The reason why that tour was postponed that much is because they're worried about COVID's health with Keith Richards being out there.
Yeah.
So they
yeah.
Oh,
you know, but in the meantime, we lose Charlie Watts. You know, that's good. I wish I could see him one more time.
Yeah.
Well, that too. It doesn't mean the same. Not seeing him. I may say him. They haven't been to California yet. So okay, let's look. Caitlin, did you have any Ozzy?
Ozzy.
Kiss.
Kiss. Yeah, Kiss. I'm sorry.
I do actually.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. It's like all my life growing up, you know, as I was a kid, back when I was an innocent child. You got I have a lot of stories for you. But I always knew who Kiss was, but I never became a fan of theirs till I was 17. I'm 38 now, so I've been a fan of theirs since I was 17. And what really got my attention about them, what I really liked about is like who they were as like a band. I'm like the story of them as a band, because if you kind of look into history, it's like they were told like like they'll never succeed, they'll never be good enough. It's like you're stupid for dressing up like that. You're stupid for wearing that makeup. You'll never succeed. It's just like I think of it now through my educational journey. I've heard just about the same things that they've heard. Right. So in some ways, I relate to the band. It's like they have people tell them you can't do this, you're not good enough, or or me, he's like you're not smart enough, or you're not gonna be a good journalist for your old age. I'm like, and of course, it's like, well, watch this. That's kind of attitude I've taken too. It's just like knowing that the band, dealt with that much negativity, it still fell away to go, ha ha ha, who's laughing now? So it's just, so they inspire me to keep going and chasing my dream, which I completed in May with my bachelor's. And so they inspired me to, well, thank you. And they inspired me to just keep going. And right now, too, I'm on the bottom of the totem pole, but they inspire me just to keep climbing up, keep going, keep reaching for it. Also, the last Kiss concert I went to was back in 2019, year before the awful COVID existed. This is way before my knee surgeries, my knee replacements. I tore my meniscus. I found out I tore my meniscus a day before the concert.
Oh, great.
And, yeah, tell me about it. It was, but get this. Sure. So he said, under no circumstances do I want you to go to the Kiss concert. You are not going to the Kiss concert. It's not going to happen. I had these tickets since Christmas. And I'm like, and when I heard the words no Kiss concert, I'm like, bet me. And I still went, but it was a lot of work. I mean, the Pepsi Center in Denver is a Stairmaster. I mean, if only you guys can hear me mutter under my breath the whole time, but I got through it. I don't have any regrets. That was probably I've seen Kiss live 7 times. Yeah, I'll say that I think the 2019 concert was probably their second most loudest concert I've ever been to. But it was just dynamic, I don't have any regrets. I mean, my knee was, my knee, but I'm like, whatever. I came here to rock and roll, and I enjoyed it. So.
Oh, good.
And that's what what you said about Kiss Army is true. It's hilarious. Man.
I've never ever seen anything like it. Not with the Stones, Zeppelin, anybody. It's just.
What in my town in Greeley, Colorado, which is northern Colorado, about like an hour from Denver.
Okay.
What you don't know is that you're gonna see like average, just normal people. And what? Okay, I didn't know this. My physical therapists, they all love Kiss. Her and her coworkers love Kiss. So, I'm like showing up in my Paul Stanley shirt. Yes, I should wear it, but it's dirty. But I showed up in my Paul Stanley shirt, and my physical therapist, Melissa, goes, you don't see behind my mask, but my tongue is sticking out. She's like, and then one time, one other physical therapist who's bully to me for no reason. I'm just kidding. He criticized me for not wearing any rock shirts or Kiss shirts. He's like, goes, well, I see you're here again. Yeah, I'm not telling you to come back, but anyway, he criticized me going, where are your shirts? I see your UNC Bears shirt, but where's the Kiss shirts?
Well, I have two Kiss shirts hanging in my closet. I've got so many T-shirts of so many bands now. I don't know how I got so many. Dan, I really like you.
It's ridiculous.
Dan's got a cool shirt.
I have. I mean, other than Kiss, but yeah. So it's like I get criticized for not wearing Kiss gear at PT. So it's like it just shows like how much that band really has affected the lives of people in a positive way. I love it. Right.
Well, okay, Rachel. Look at. There's a shirt I sent this shirt.
That's a good one.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's a
I
great
like
one.
that.
Some of that car
Yeah.
in
Bonnie Clyde.
Bonnie
Love
Springs,
it.
Nevada. That
Yeah.
car's at Bonnie Springs, Nevada. You can go see it there. The Bonnie and
Hey,
Clyde car.
Rachel, what have you got here?
Not a whole lot. I just got one little Kiss item, but a couple of stories about Kiss. It's kind of serendipitous. We were talking about Kiss on the show today, and they're a little outside my wheelhouse, as a friend of ours, Elliot Cruz, likes to say, bluegrass fella down in North Carolina. But anyway, it was 1974. I see their first album. My buddy had it, and I go, "What's this?" And I thought it was just kind of crazy. I kind of took it as a bit of a joke, like these guys look so weird, and what the hell? I didn't take it seriously.
Right.
And then later that same year, and I looked it up today because we were talking about it, and because I was saying it was either on Don Kirshner's rock concert or the Midnight Special or ABC in concert, which was the frickin' coolest of the whole bunch. ABC in concert was straight ahead, rock and roll, no Motown, no soul, just rock and roll. That's what that show did. If you go back, see it. I forget what it replaced. It replaced some late night show, and it came into that time slot. And I came home from a party. I'd been drinking and I was stoned. I was smoking some pot. And there they were on the stage, moving around, prancing about. And they were like, when you get that strobe effect because you're high, and things are moving around and they aren't fluid, like you're not, because your brain's not catching. It's not firing on every cylinder. And they look so cool to me. I said, man, this is cool. But like Dan says, as later as he got older, he kind of looked back and said, I'm kind of outgrowing these guys. With me, I wasn't outgrowing them. I was kind of outgrowing them from the very beginning, but I thought that was kind of cool. So I went out and I bought this, which is still my favorite album by them. It's called Dressed to Kill. They look so great in the little suits there. They're so slim and trim with their young men bodies. And I was sold on this thing, of course, the negative on the back there. And so I love this album. And then I bought Hotter Than Hell, which apparently actually precedes this one. Hotter Than Hell, 1974, following the heels of the debut. And then this came out in 75. So 75, I'm 17 years old. So it's the same kind of thing that I got when I watched Star Wars. In 77, I go see Star Wars, the first one, and I'm 19 in 77. And the theater is filled with 12-year-olds. So Star Wars to me was such a kid thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm 19, I go, what the fuck? And of course I haven't had the big sex change, so it's all boy brain. What the fuck are these kids doing here with all this, their robots and all that? And so that was kind of my take on it. And so when you were saying the story, Royce, well, hon, what do you think about it when you're asking your wife? And she goes, well, kind of teeny bopper stuff. I kind of get that idea. So yeah, they are. And I watched them today as well. And it was kind of the insight I got. We played a clip. Our good friend Rob the Wax got a great channel. The Wax goes, hey, Rachel, have you seen the Paul Lynde special for 1976? Kiss, or he mentioned a few things. So I looked on it and started scrolling ahead, and I noticed Kiss was on there. I said, well, let's watch Kiss. 1976, prime of life, these young guys. Let's see what we got going. We put them on, and they're jumping and skipping and doing things on a very small stage. And Kiss needs a big stage, for one thing, because everything looks a little, not quite as the way it should be. But they're giving it their all. They're performing the best they can. And I thought, what a young man's game this rock and roll business is, because they're jumping up and skipping and prancing all over the place. This is not something that Kiss in 2021 is going to be able to do. I'll tell you that right now. So that's that. But if you are looking to get into the band and you want a good starter, I'm happy to recommend Dressed to Kill. I think it's a great album. It's their third album in their discography. So
that was my first album by Kiss.
Well, I still have a list of people here and of this the list, and I just made a list. I didn't anticipate, having or anybody having. I'm gonna go ahead and read through the list of what I have left. I was never a fan of Marilyn Manson, but he was certainly a shock rocker.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little too heavy for. I mean, his breakthrough album was named Antichrist Superstar.
That was classic.
Parents still protested some of his concerts.
I went to one of his shows, and the Westboro Baptist Church was there.
His performance has some alleged Nazi.
I'd protest Westboro Baptist Church.
Me too. No, what's funny is one of the people from Westboro was telling me I'm going to hell, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'll meet you there. I'll bring the weed.
Right. Okay, I'll go through the rest of the list, and we can just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But I've got Marilyn Manson was on the list. Rob Zombie. Now Rob Zombie's cool. Rob Zombie has been busy producing and directing movies like Halloween. And that's been kind of that's inspired him. That's inspired him in his rock performances. Those horror movies that he makes. Anyway, so Rob Zombie's cool. Tommy Clufetis, the drummer for Ozzy, used to play for Rob Zombie. And then Iggy Pop. Invented punk, they say, but he had some shocking onstage persona. David Bowie.
He's also arguably the first person to stage dive.
Okay, and David Bowie, he seemed to reinvent himself every couple of years, and it was always interesting. And then the other one I have is Dee Snider. And I think what I'm going to do now, it's getting a little bit late. I'm gonna skim through the pictures I have of these gentlemen here. Okay, if I can find where I left off here. Looks like I found where I left off. Okay, Dee Snider.
Oh my God.
Okay,
There you go.
Okay, here's Rob Zombie.
Yes.
And here's another Rob Zombie.
I like that one.
Very ghoulish looking there. And then Dee Snider and one of my former co-hosts, Michael Altini, years ago actually worked. I never really understood what he did, but he worked for Twisted Sister and Dee Snider.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's another Dee Snider. And Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, there he may be.
Marilyn Manson. Yeah. Okay, and the most horrific picture of all of his
That's like how nerdy he looks.
Okay. And then down here we've got David Bowie with these, arms wrapping around his breast here. Anyway, so those are the names of those were the remaining names on my list. Okay, and we don't have to talk about all of them at all. We can just talk about anything we may have vinyl for. Now, of this entire rest of this list, all I have is a couple of David Bowie albums. So I'll just talk about of the remaining list. We'll just talk about what we have, because it's not going to be the same as unboxing Ozzy or Kiss or Alice, where everybody has that. But anyway, so here's David Bowie. Changes One Bowie. And,
yeah, I have the remastered. It's a great album.
Yeah, great album.
Well, it's a fantastic album.
Yeah, I mean, Fame. Everybody's heard the song Fame.
Great.
Young Americans. These are all really popular songs here. Rebel, Rebel, Young Americans, Diamond Dogs, Genie, Suffragette City. That's a great song. I watch Alice Cooper and Ryan Roxy do that. It is a video circulating around. It's a great job on that. There may even be Orianthi might even be playing guitar with them.
Oh.
Ziggy Stardust, Changes. I'm only
dancing.
I'm only dance. Okay, and Space Oddity. So this has really good songs on it. I mean, really good songs. So that's a great album.
That is a good album. I like that.
The other David Bowie I have is Monster. David Bowie Monster.
Yeah.
I wish I had that one.
Oh, do you? Have you got a Blizzard of Oz cover you want to change? Okay, so that's Monster. The songs aren't as familiar, but everybody likes the album. Anyway,
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
okay. So,
All right.
Richie, we'll go to you. We've got Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, Iggy Pop, David Bowie, and Dee Snider. If you have any comments on any of those guys.
No, I really don't. Not that I don't like them. I just don't. I don't have.
No,
any.
I hear you.
Wait a minute. You mean you're talking about? Wait a minute. What was his? He was born something Jones. Marilyn Manson.
Yeah,
What was
David
his name?
Jones.
Marilyn Manson.
There we go. That's what I got. I just read it, and then I went to something else, so I didn't have it. But go ahead, you guys.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
I have quite a bit to comment on, if that's all right.
No, that's fine.
I have quite
That's
a
why I
bit
cut
of
it short.
I have quite a bit of Twisted Sister, and I have some honorable mentions that you did not mention.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I knew there was going to be plenty of that.
I have this. I was told this was rare. I don't know if it actually is or not, but I Am I Me, which is a live single, which also features Tear It Loose, Destroyer, and It's Only Rock and Roll on the B-side.
Oh, wow.
I've also got The Kids Are Back, Twisted Sister, also live tracks.
Gotcha.
I've got Twisted Sister, Under the Blade.
Oh, man, you really like Twisted Sister.
I have all of Iron Maiden's albums on vinyl too, but I'm not getting to all of them. And all of Alice Cooper, but I didn't get to that either. Twisted Sister, Under the Blade.
Oh, wow.
Twisted Sister, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll.
Look at you go.
Oh my goodness.
Honorable mention, Wasp.
Okay.
Their debut album, which this one is the one that didn't feature Fuck Like a Beast, which was their big hit back then. Select copies didn't have it because it was censored and wasn't allowed to play. I've also got another honorable mention, Iron Maiden Peace of Mind, which is a picture disc.
Nice.
I've also got my favorite live album of all time, Iron Maiden Live After Midnight, or Live After Death, sorry. Live After Death.
Okay.
Iron Maiden's debut album. Iron Maiden's Killer.
Oh, wow.
Such great cover work.
Number of the Beast.
Oh, look at that.
That's the only one I own from them.
I do also have, I skipped this one, Twisted Sister Stay Hungry, one of their last albums ever released, besides the Christmas album.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel about Iron Maiden.
And then Made in Japan.
Oh,
Great cover. Great idea.
beautiful.
Wow.
Iron Maiden had the best covers. They're a lot of fun.
They have a lot of
Didn't
good
Didn't they have the same artist do all of their album art, or am I
I
mistaken?
have an Iron Maiden myself.
Have you heard of Iron Maiden's new album?
Oh, fucking beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I actually got to review that one as well, and I was listening to it. It was just a masterpiece.
Classic Maiden.
Well, I have to back up. I have to back up 1 minute. I do have an Iron Maiden. This was part of that damaged vinyl hoard that I had.
Oh, I have that one too.
Yeah, Iron Maiden, 2 minutes to midnight. Yeah, I forgot
Looks
about
like it's in pretty good shape, Bryce.
It's only got 2 songs on it. You know, it's one of those kind of things. 2 minutes to midnight. It's got Rainbows, Gold, and Mission from Array, the World Slavery Tour. You know. And I forgot about this. I had some other Iron Maiden that got away from me.
What's the name of the song? A Mission to Array?
Yeah, let's see.
A
Oh,
R
it's
R
got more than I said. It's got Rainbows Gold and Mission from Airy, ARRY. And those are the only 2 songs on this side. And then on the other side, we have a single song, 2 minutes to midnight. And how long is it? I don't know how long it is, but
Looks like an EP.
Yeah, those songs were long.
Anyway, we'll move on. I just remembered that I had that.
Maiden had some long ass songs.
Is
Yeah,
Michael,
yeah.
is that an EP that he's got in his hands there?
I believe it's an EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's would explain why it doesn't have that many songs on it.
Yeah, it was actually originally released, I think, as a single, but they added the other 2 songs.
Oh, I see.
Because that was before the album was officially released. So
Yeah, I hope you guys don't mind me combining the last group. I didn't think there would be as much on those. And if we did the round robin thing with each individual, I think would have probably doubled how much more time the show would have gone on.
you could have done a part 2.
Yeah, part 2, right?
That'd be awesome.
Okay, so you showed quite a bit. Do you have anything else you want to show, or I know you said you have a lot. We can have a part 2 or a second show,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got some Alice, I've got some more Iron Maiden, believe it or not.
You can try to take my time. I need to get going here.
What's that? What's that, Dan?
Yeah, he can take up some of my time because I got to take off.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for coming in, Dan. We really appreciate you.
I enjoyed it. See y'all around.
Okay,
Bye.
buddy. Thank you.
Bye.
Take
care.
care. Dan.
So you actually have the Skulls Out with the panties. Mine doesn't anymore. I actually got this from somebody in a big crate. And what they were saying, Royce, is if you undo this,
Yeah.
it's a desk. You can sit it down and lift it up and pull the vinyl out.
Okay. I'll experiment later. I was about to destroy it because I couldn't understand why it wasn't opening correctly.
No, it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be an old school desk. Go ahead, Kate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You want me to run through the names of the bands again that I had on the list?
No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you, though. I was going to mention Marilyn Manson. I think, I'm not a fan of his actions, obviously, but like stage-wise, musically, he's actually done some really interesting things. Has really defined like a different era of music through his through the ego that he is on stage. And it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a lot of people like, oh my gosh, he's hideous. Don't even, or always, well, my parents will tell me I'm grounded if I listen to him. But of course, I never listen to them when they say that. But it never caught me. But I thought he was brilliant. I just think he was also a misunderstood artist in some ways. Because a lot of people, kind of, it was divided. Like a lot of people loved him, a lot of people hated him. But I think, if you really kind of just gave him a different look through his music, not his actions, but through his music, it's pretty cool what he's done.
Yeah, Kate, when he was first, hit the scene, I totally can relate to what you're saying because that was the common consensus at the time. He was very talented, and I remember actually liking a couple of songs that got played on.
He did the These Dreams, the cover of These Dreams Are Made of These. I really like that version.
Right.
I thought it was a really good cover. A lot of people's like,
you don't know how much of this, like Nazi stuff and Antichrist. You don't know how much of that is just shock value.
Exactly. But and he was brilliant. I think Antichrist Superstar was no doubt probably his best record of all. Because it really kind of just brought out the shock. The statement that he wanted people to feel through his acts, through his ego, or the or the monster he created, I shall say.
Right.
So that was a good record.
I don't know if it was for shock value, but he was a minister for the Church of Satan there for a little while.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He met up with Anton LaVey, the main guy for the Church of Satan.
I have that written here too. Yeah.
Really? See, I didn't know that.
He was a member of the Church of Satan during the late 90s.
From what I heard, though, he did it as a publicity stunt because a good friend of his was a Satanist and he died, and he did it in tribute to him. But I don't know. I don't know how much of that is true.
Hey, I gotta ask my brother. I gotta ask my brother with his faith show when he's sitting here talking about this crazy guy Marilyn Manson, with you know, Satan and you know, Nazi images up on the stage. I mean, how do you feel hearing this stuff?
Well, I don't feel real too much of anything about it because I don't really understand what they were going for,
Yeah,
but I know a lot of it was gimmicks and stuff, and some
right,
of them worked, and some of them lasted a while. But I'm not really. I don't feel
right.
like. I mean, it's not something I would do.
No,
but,
no, never.
Not me either. I was just.
I'm not. It's
don't
not
get me
something
wrong.
like I think is very what do you call I don't know what to say. It's not something I would do or follow.
No,
As a musician.
right.
Oh, I don't follow that stuff at all. I mean,
it's okay,
it's like,
Kate.
I was like, no, I'm a good girl. I promise, I'm a good girl.
I've got friends.
Yeah,
that
okay,
do.
no, you're all right. Don't worry, you're all right.
Oh my God, I watch church online every Sunday. I promise.
It's kind of weird to me that anybody would even mess with anything like that.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah,
it's very, very dangerous. If you know what I'm saying. I didn't
Manson,
know that a long time ago, but I think it is now.
Yeah.
I think it's dangerous.
Manson's lyrics were not as bad as Slayer's, though.
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool lyrics.
Slayer is the band that released the album God Hates Us All on September 11th, 2001 with the main song Jihad.
Great. I heard when they made some movies like The Exorcist and stuff like that, that weird stuff happened on those sets,
Oh, I can't watch that movie.
More than weird stuff happened. So there's supernatural both ways, good and bad,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I can't watch that movie. This house has its ghosts. I'm like, I respect that. I'm not going to alter that, change that, or anything. So
yeah, I was like 16 or 17 when I saw it, and believe me, I left the light on all night.
Poltergeist is haunted. That movie.
What's that?
Poltergeist is a haunted movie. At the very end, where those skeletons come up, that was actual human remains. Somebody mixed it up on the set, and everybody who was in that movie died by mysterious causes.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding. The little girl died from some mysterious disease. All the actors over the time has died, and they stated that the human remains was a mishap, like they didn't know until the movie was done being filmed.
Oh man,
that's weird stuff, man. I mean, you know what?
that is weird.
I know the devil's real, so I'm not gonna try to invite him into my house. Say, come on in, devil. No, I'm not gonna do that.
No, you can stay outside the door.
But anyway, that's just the way I feel.
Well, let's see. I think Rachel, what have you got for us with these guys?
Well, David Bowie, I just looked on Discogs. I have about 14 albums recorded there, so I got a lot of Bowie. And Bowie was a lot of fun for me, and he's a talented guy.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Lust for Life with The Passenger on it for Iggy Pop representing. Twisted Sister, I left them in the video world. I liked it, and I laughed so much at the beginning where the guy go that twanger and what are you good for and all this, and then the kid goes, I want to rock, and then away he goes, So I got it, but I was in my 20s by the time that showed up. And then who else did we mention? Marilyn Manson, when he had the breast suit and the red hair, and he's kind of moving around, very precursor to Lady Gaga, a female version of Marilyn Manson on some level. And then one that you didn't mention, and I got a picture of him, and because of the way the StreamYard works, I can share it. Well, you just have to make it go live. So I go share screen, and I go here, Screamin' Lord Such. This is an English version. So if you grab that and put that up on screen, the people can see it. There he is with the axe. So this is early 60s. This is kind of like a Screamin Jay Hawkins. This is a UK version of that. This guy would go around and kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde persona, would scare all the little English girls, and they have pictures of them. So here's another one that you can add to the mix. I guess this is as old as the old Madonna, I think, would apply on some level, and I've got a couple of her albums. you know, because of the sexuality. I think the idea of the shock element, and then I can get rid of this myself. Stop screen. There we go. And so there are those elements of it. A number of acts have incorporated. I mean, even the Rolling Stones brought in some element when they have their inflatable prostitutes for honky tonk women. When you go to the concert, I saw them do their steel wheels, and that was a lot of fun.
There is one we did miss from the early days, and that's Arthur Brown.
Arthur Brown, yeah.
Alice Cooper said he was heavily influenced by him, and Arthur even performed with the Alice Cooper group a couple of years ago.
You know, that's really funny. I have on my list of people I researched, the top page is Arthur Brown right there.
Yeah, I think he'd be classified as a one-hit wonder because he was only known for "Fire, You Bring Me to Burn." That was his big,
yeah.
He'd catch his hat on fire and he'd dance.
He paved the way for, let's call it, flamboyance.
He was flamboyant.
One of the biggest singles of '68 was "Fire." You were just singing it, yeah, and doing a good job, I might add.
I love that guy.
Yeah, wild, rave up, organ-driven rock with a charging brass section. Fronting the band is Brown, Arthur Brown, a tall, bearded man with a ceremonial robe and a flaming crown on his head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
before pyro was really big.
he never achieved commercial heights again. You don't think the Red Hot Chili Peppers invented flaming headgear on all the blues, did you? No, they got it for Brown.
Yeah, who was it? Alice Cooper said years ago they came to watch his show, and he goes, "Oh, I get what you're doing. It reminds me of vaudeville." Maybe it was Groucho. Might have been. I think it might have been Groucho Marx. But one of these legends of Hollywood saw Alice Cooper and goes, "I know exactly what your act is. We did the same kind of thing in vaudeville. Like it was entertainment. They were looking for a frame of reference for it, and that's how this individual likened it. You know,
it was either Groucho or Vincent Price. I forget.
Maybe it was Price as well. Could have been. Could very well have been. But the comment I remember was that, you know, quote, vaudeville, right?
Yeah.
Because Cooper recognized, let's make show.
Right.
Let's do theater here.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, that's what it's become anymore, is theater, you know. I mean, it used to be that a band would cut an album, then they'd go on tour to promote the album. And now it's the price of the tickets for the concerts was where the money is. It's not the album anymore.
My gosh.
It used to be merch and album. Now it seems like just the tours.
Yeah. And I'm sure the merch counts too, but
it's sure interesting. I could spend like a whole show just listening to you folks talk about people you know in the industry. I always find that endlessly fascinating. You know, it's just fun for me.
Yeah, no, it is fun. Yeah, it's fun for all of us. Thank you. Well, this has been anything else anybody wants to show or talk about? I mean,
I just want to bring something. Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to bring something up. I actually, in regards, Rachel, to Dress to Kill. No, where I used to live, we used to have record stores. Yeah, exactly. That's such a beautiful cover. I love that cover of them, the suits as well. And the record store actually down in Boulder, Colorado, which is like 45 minutes away from me, actually has one of the original demos on vinyl of Dress to Kill. It's high on the shelf, but I tell you what, when I walked in there last time, I remember looking way up on that shelf and, you know, like, what? Isn't that just a beautiful demo?
I think it probably had a pretty good price tag attached to it if it's a demo.
Unfortunately. Yeah. It's like, well, no, maybe we dropped it down a good couple double digits, maybe. We could talk to the owner about, but that wasn't going to happen, so I just had to go bye-bye.
So
we're talking about concerts. A bunch of my friends and I were teenagers. We're standing outside the Las Vegas Convention Center, and I can't remember who's playing right now, but we're standing not right in front of where you would go in if you had a ticket, but off to the side. And there was a door there and a security guard standing there, you know, with the badge and everything, security on. And all of a sudden, we stood there talking for about 30 minutes. And we looked up, and the door was open, but there was no security guard. So we kind of crept up, put our heads in the door, and looked back and forth. Didn't see him. And we just bolted into the crowd real quick, and then just started walking normally. And after that, every time we went to the Las Vegas Convention Center, we'd go stand by that door. And I'm not exaggerating. I probably saw 3 top concerts for free, waiting for that guard to go to the bathroom or something and leave the door open.
That's awesome.
It was fun, yeah.
There is a band I'd like to add that I didn't think of till now, and you might not have them on your list. You might. Is a German band, Rammstein.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were-
No, I don't
They're-
have it on my list. No.
They were the only
Yeah,
band.
there.
They were the only band I can think of that was banned in the United States from touring for like
Really?
I think 10 years.
No kidding.
Yeah, because their shows are so crazy that they got banned in the United States because, from what I heard, Till, their lead singer, had 2 people on leashes wearing bondage gear,
Oh, okay.
and he came out, took his keyboardist, bent him over, and stuck a dildo in his butt.
No.
Then pulled it out, and fake semen squirted all over the audience.
Oh my! Whoa!
You've
Yeah.
got to be kidding me.
Whoa!
I've never heard that.
Yeah!
What's
Whoa!
the band again?
Who was the
Rammstein.
warm-up act? G.G. Allen? You know,
G.G. Allen would throw feces on people.
I know. It's
Oh
horrible.
my God!
Well, how about
Horrible.
We're all 50 Shades of Grey on here. Oh!
you know, we were going to include let's see who on the list. Frank Zappa. Then we started
yeah.
reading about his alleged crap eating on stage.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you know, I'm just not going there. You know what
We're
I'm saying?
not going there.
I don't mind seeing him sitting on a toilet, you know, on an album cover. We're talking about him eating crap. I just don't want to go there.
Well, I mean, it gets to the point it wins too much. Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if Zappa actually did that, but I know Ozzy did do that on a tour. He was
No.
Randy Rhoads crapped on stage and he ate it.
No.
I know that's a legit thing that happened.
No, my God. I don't
never
believe
believe
it.
He had to have shaken some fudge he had pre-planted down his pant leg or something.
I don't know, but I have a friend that saw.
How is that entertaining?
I
don't know.
I have a friend that saw Ozzy a few times in the 80s, and Ozzy would piss and shit on stage all the time.
Well, it almost gets to the point where sometimes, I mean, apart from the apocryphal stuff, but you know, where you shock for the sake of shocking, and I think you know, maybe there's some second guessing needs to be done there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, $2,000 front row seat tickets to watch that go down would be kind of a. I think I'd jump in front of a train on the way home.
How much of it though?
I don't
was
think I'd
for
ever go
shock
back.
value? How much of it was for shock value, and how much was it because of they were on drugs at the time?
Yeah.
Well,
Good question.
yeah. It's hard to say for sure.
Jim Morrison
crazy.
should.
That's not even
But
Jim
I
Morrison.
can't. I've done my share of experimenting and shit down through the years, mostly in my youth. But I can't imagine ever being that high. You know what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't be there. No.
No.
My
No.
God, no,
You
I
want to
think-
talk about evil? That's evil right there.
No,
Gloria in
Lord.
the chat has a good point. Gloria in the chat has a good point.
That's
Jim
definitely
Morrison.
evil.
Royce, I'm going to have to beg out as well.
Okay,
I wanna
Rachel.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Rachel,
Yeah,
nice
we're
to
gonna
meet
be
you.
we're gonna be wrapping it up real soon. Thank you very much for coming by,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I try to watch as much
Thank
as
you,
I can.
Rachel.
I'm always on a construction job working when you're on. You know
Yeah.
what are the hours of your show again?
I start at 6 o'clock Pacific in the morning, so it's about 9
Oh,
o'clock
wow.
Eastern. And then I go for a couple hours, about 2 hours. I try and hit 2 hours minimum. Sometimes I go a little longer, but I generally am able to do 2 hour show. And then I reappear again at about 1:30, 2 o'clock Pacific. So about 5
Gotcha.
o'clock Eastern starting up. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
a
daily.
pretty busy
Every
schedule.
day. Yeah.
Right.
It's fun. I'm retired. So,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
what
just,
you
you
do.
know,
You're having fun with it. Yeah.
yeah.
You're
And
mostly
I
having
get to
fun.
see all the people and stuff. So,
Right.
Well,
We
okay,
have
check
fun.
it out.
so I want to thank you, Royce. I really appreciate it. Really
Oh,
nice
no,
meeting
no.
the other
Thank you
channel.
for coming on, Rachel. We really enjoyed you.
Yeah. So I've subscribed to both Michael and to Richard, is it? Because I
Richie,
see
yeah.
Floyd Moses.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes, you can
and
call me
Caitlin,
that.
are you Caitlin, or what's the name of your channel?
Oh, I'll put in the chat for you really quick for you.
Okay. Now, if you put it in the private chat, that's where because unless you have a wrench, you won't be able to type a URL into the chat area.
All right, it's just my name and my first name and last name, nothing special.
Oh, okay.
It's easy peasy.
And I'm Rachel the Music Man live streams, folks. I'm always looking for more people to watch my silliness.
Okay.
There you go. It's a basic name, nothing special.
I'm just waiting for it to show. Oh, private chat. There you are.
Yeah, it's just it's a little inactive right now, but it's gonna be building back up. I have podcast episodes up there. I have a couple of class projects for my time up that I'm proud of, and I also have some sports card unpackings, but that's because I'm an avid sports card collector.
Okay.
So,
Caitlin, it's so easy. It doesn't cost me anything to subscribe to any channel,
Nope.
So I just sub up. I got hundreds of people subscribed, and and because I do my 2 shows a day, generally I don't watch a lot of music channels after, but anybody that wants me to, hey, I did a great video, I'd really like you to see it, Rachel. You just ask me, and I always make an effort to watch those videos for people. But the main idea is get stuff because you can do more things. Once you hit 500, then you can start doing community posts and promoting different things that you do, and it gives you a little more leeway. We all want to extend our reach and entertain or connect with more people. It's more fun. With that being said, Royce, I want to thank you once more for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, Rachel. We really appreciate you coming on and spending the time with us. It was fun.
yeah, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.
And now
Also, I want to apologize for the coughing. I'm still recovering from COVID, so just bear with me.
I was wondering if that was the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have a mixed bag of symptoms. It's like I got diagnosed on Tuesday, so it's a mixed bag of symptoms. So it's okay though. It's
right. You just had your knee replaced.
And I had my left done in January. I had my right one done in July. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
If that's doing it better though. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have those surgeries. I can finally walk again.
I've spent so much time in the construction business. I mean, finishing concrete, you got all your weight on your knees and on your hands when you're using the trowel out there, and it's getting away from you and it's getting hard, and you got to get down to your little burner trowel and put all the weight and all your strength on it and just work. And your knees rocking back and forth. And I have like really, really pained my knees a few times. One time one of them swelled up. It was finishing concrete. One of them swelled up like a grapefruit, and then the sac burst, and my whole leg was turning purple, and there was a risk of serious infection. Had to, that little Mickey Mouse sidewalk concrete job. It cost me 6 weeks with my leg in the air. And while I was, but anyway, I mean, I beat my knees up, and I'm down on my hands and knees at work putting baseboards on the other day, and I get home and I'm sitting on the couch and my legs are on the coffee table, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody grabbed a monstrous rubber band in my knee, pulled it back as far as they could and let it go, and it snapped, and I was like, oh shit. And I really thought I'd finally screwed something up bad, because then it started hurting all the way around my knee, and I've torn tendons and stuff off. Like I had a tendon that holds my bicep down. I was carrying 2 sheets of plywood, and my hand just opened and dropped it. And the tendon that's fastened to your forearm snapped way up into my shoulder. So they had to operate and find the tendon, wrap it around a screw, and screw it into my forearm. But anyway, so I thought I'd really messed something up. And like 2 days later, the pain was completely gone. And I was so grateful,
Yeah, I'm grateful to be bionic woman now. So I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. I'm happy. I can walk again. I'm just working on getting that hip strength back, and I should be good to go. Wow.
Awesome. Well, anybody got any closing statements? I think it's time to sign off here now.
I
think it was a fun show. I appreciate everybody, Caitlin and Mike and Richie and Gloria, Gloria and Bob and
love you, Gloria. Love you, Bob.
Yeah, I love
Well,
you guys.
in there. I can't.
Bill,
Yeah,
So what-
later.
Bill K's the one that hooked me up with
Oh, hi,
Rachel.
Bill.
Yeah.
Before we all sign out, what time is your guys' shows? Whenever you start them up, and what day of the week, so that everybody knows.
Mine's always Friday at 7. And then in between my shows, my live podcast, I'll go out and make like a video. Like this week I had one on our little zoo here in Atascadero. Went through filming all the animals. The week before that, I did one on these Texas bighorn steers that are a few miles from me. I had pulled off the side of the freeway and filmed these big steer, like 9 feet across horns, And I do that stuff all the time. I've done the Summer of Love in Haight-Ashbury vlog. I've done Pier 39 in San Francisco. I went up a couple of weeks ago to Carmel, and I went to Clint Eastwood's ranch, Mission Ranch. He owns, I think it's 21 acres, and Betty and I had dinner there. And then we went down to the Hog's Breast Inn that Clint Eastwood owned for 27 years, downtown Carmel. We went in there, and we had if you want to watch a fun video, go look at we called it Cry Macho because Clint Eastwood had a new movie out called Cry Macho. And if you look at if you have TubeBuddy and you look at what the hot keywords are, Cry Macho was getting like, 200,000 hits a day or something, So since we're going to go tour Clint Eastwood's ranch and his former bar in Carmel, I just called the video Cry Macho, and it did pretty good too, because it's getting, recommended by YouTube and stuff because of the significant keywords. TubeBuddy will really help you out on keywords. You can click on a keyword you put in your tags, and TubeBuddy will look at it, and either the needle goes down and says it sucks, or the needle goes up and says use it. And so you keep finding, and then they'll make suggestions. Like instead of Ozzy Osbourne, whatever, it might say Ozzy Osbourne Blizzard Live 1976 or something like that. And you click on that one, and finally, out of 3 or 4, you got one that a ton of people are searching and watching. So you go through and you fill like all 500 of your words and your keywords with keywords that people are looking for and searching for, and that helps you get more views and stuff. And of course, we always hope views translate into subscriptions. People like this.
And then it turns into a little bit of money, maybe $1 for
a couple bucks here and there for commercials. But yeah, no, that's the case. Yeah. So anyway, it's a long road though. I mean, you really got to be consistent. And one of the things I read was like, we got some friends that are putting a show together that used to work on my show a little bit, and I don't know why it's been so hard and taken so long for them. Because what I read was, don't wait until you have perfection. Don't give 2 shits about a nice intro. Nobody cares about the intro. If you make it too long, it almost pisses people off. Just get your show out there. If your lighting is not perfect, if your photography is not perfect, the best thing you can do is get your first 45 videos out there, get them in, in circulation, and then consistency. They say like the first time somebody asked me to change my show from Saturday to Friday night, and I was like flipped out. That screws up my consistency. It had been Saturday night forever, and so now it's Friday night, and it's going to be Friday night probably forever. But they say be consistent. If you do it the same time, the same day every week, that all of that kind of stuff helps, And I don't know what the best day of the week is. We talked about that one time, didn't we, Caitlin?
Yeah.
With COVID going away, and especially back in the East and stuff, there's always clubs and pubs where people love to go hang out on Friday and Saturday night. So it's like, well, let's see, watch a podcast or go meet all my buddies at this place and have some beers and watch a big screen TV and watch the game. I mean, it's not that hard of a choice to make. So it's like, what is the best night? Is it Friday and Saturday when everybody wants to go out? Is it Sunday when no one's going out, everybody's recovering, but maybe it's too tired to care? I mean, I don't know what the best night is. Right now.
I'm the idiot that has mine on Monday.
I think Monday may be a really good night.
No, we have it Monday noon Eastern Standard Time, which isn't a great time frame, but it was great during COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
It's hard to figure out all of that stuff, and there's like an algorithm, and like I'll watch a little travel video. It's two people traveling through Mexico and filming where they're going and filming the food they're eating. and they last about 15 minutes. And I'll check, and it was posted 8 hours ago, and it's got like 14,000 views. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know, I mean, 14,000 views. They're walking through Mexico talking about what they're seeing and what they're doing.
Wrong business.
Like that, and I just don't get it. I'll see some. I'll go to like a vinyl unboxing channel, and there'll be somebody that unboxed a single album. Say it's Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain. They unboxed it a year ago, and it's got like 17,000 views. It's like, what? You know, I mean, how do they get? You know, we can unbox 40 albums, and we'll have like, 140 views this time tomorrow. You know, and somebody unboxes one frickin' album, and it's got like 14,000 views. You know, it's really hard to figure out, to be honest with you.
It's all in who you know.
Yeah. Well, some of these people, I'm 100% convinced, already have a following.
Yeah.
And they've got thousands of followers, thousands and thousands of subscribers, and they kind of watch anything they put out. But when you're starting something new, it's a whole different dynamic. It's
challenging because it's kind of like bottom of a totem pole. You gotta work yourself up to get to find where you want to be.
That's right.
I think it's challenging. I mean, for my podcast, when I get back when it's running, it will be running soon, I promise. It was a late at night podcast because for me, I'm a night person, and so I'm a late night person, and I know there are millions of people in this world and in our nation that are late night people. I mean, especially for those who work late nights. It's just like, why not have like a late night podcast?
Right. Right. Well,
like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
My biggest shows have nothing to do with vinyl unboxing. I have a Why We Love the Central Coast that I tie into real estate sales. Somebody's looking for real estate up here along the beach, Cayucas, Morro Bay, Shell Beach, and they click on the area, and my video of Cayucas seems to come up everywhere. I'll go searching for another one of my videos, and the Cayucas video come up. I'll do a YouTube search for Morro Bay. I'll do a YouTube search for all these other places, and every time my Cayucas video comes up, no matter what I'm looking for, and it's got over 1.4 thousand views. Just a little like 18 minutes in Cayucas, And then I think my 3 top shows have nothing to do with vinyl unboxing.
Crazy.
I did another one. Me, and the sun was just blinding and stuff. And I did one on our Atascadero Lake Park here in town, and it's got close to 800 views. And I did another one on Harmony. But some of those shows, they kind of get out there somehow. Maybe there's not as much of that as there is the vinyl shows and stuff right now. They're more like travel vlogs, vacation shows. I went to my class reunion 2 weeks ago back in Las Vegas.
Oh,
I did a video on the downtown Fremont Street experience. I did another video on the Wynn and the Encore casinos. And I mean, we're talking like 10-minute videos, and you get pretty good views on these little videos. My Cry Macho video, touring Carmel and Clint Eastwood's ranch in his house, I think I'm pushing 250 right now, and that's not bad,
Well, you make it.
Then at some point they wind up someplace where they keep getting seen, and it keeps, like my Cayucas one, it just keeps showing up everywhere. And and the picture I took was just incredible. We're sitting up in this restaurant called Schooner's Wharf, best calamari in the world, and with the view of the ocean and the beach there. And the sun was just about to go down, and it was shining. Well, I'll have to show you sometime. But the way the whole sky was like a yellowish orange, and you could see the pier, and there was a big yellowish orange stripe that came underneath the pier, and that was the sun shining underneath the pier. And it's a pretty incredible picture. And they say that a really good picture makes a big difference on how this thing gets noticed and looked at. Because when you have a show, you go to the analytics, they're going to show you how many times they suggested. YouTube will show you, we suggested your show 400 times to people. And how many people watched it from that? Is it 11%, 15%, 8%? But you get views from that, and that's like kind of significant, you know. But what you don't want to do is a 3-hour show and have an average watch time of 18 minutes, because that is not going to excite YouTube or Google and have them start recommending your show. 3-hour show, and you got do a 3-hour show, and you got an 18 to 24-minute watch time, and that's not that unusual, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, you've got people that'll watch all the way through, and you got people that pop in for 5 minutes and leave. You know, and they want to go get down to the pub with their buddies. You know?
A lot of my views came from like I will react to music videos and stuff, and that's when I get the most views. The podcast that I do gets more views after we've aired live, which is fine. But yeah, we get more of a after the fact, which makes me wonder, should I do them pre-recorded or should I stick with the live format?
Yeah, and like I said, when I do my tour shows, I just pre-record them, edit them, put them through TubeBuddy, you know, pick out everything I can that might help them, and then just set them as a premiere. So people look at just the facts. You know, I mentioned during the show that he has his space shuttle video. He says he's got 2 videos he shot, and between the 2, they have almost 2 million views of the space shuttle exploding. 2 million views. And then another one, he says he has 3,300 subscribers, but I didn't focus on the channel until 4 years ago, but have had the channel for 15 years. So yeah, Dan's had a channel for a long time, you know.
Yeah, I've been doing my podcast for about a year now, but I've noticed that we have less live viewers due to the pandemic ending. We used to average like 100 or whatever, and then it just kind of dwindled off. And what I'm noticing, though, the way my podcast works, it's free form, unedited, uncensored. You can talk about whatever the hell you want. We've had Ryan Roxy on a couple times. We talked about porn.
I saw Ryan Roxy on, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about porn and Marilyn Manson. But with my show, I don't like and it works for some people, but I don't like the regular interview style. Like, so you're in this band, like the questions that you already hear asked over and over and over again. I prefer one-on-one, like we're doing, conversation, no script.
Right.
Because that's what brings people in, is the originality.
Well, Adam D just made a really good point. He said personality sells the channel 100% of the time over the quality of the content.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
One of the biggest YouTubers ever, all he started doing was playing video games, but due to his personality, he has like tons of views, and that guy's PewDiePie. He is still the most
I know who he is. Yeah.
He's still the most subscribed YouTuber, and he hasn't been popular in like 5 years. He took 1.5 years off, and he still has more views.
Wow.
Like,
that's wild.
But I got to get going, guys. And I know.
I think we're going to wrap up right now, all of us. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. I thought we had a fun show tonight.
A lot of fun.
And I want to thank everybody in the chat. You know, Dan's in the chat.
Yes, everybody in the chat, I love you.
Bob and Adam.
Hi, Gloria.
And Bill K. I just thank you all. Thank you all for coming in and supporting us.
Hi,
Maria
Bill.
Day, Psycho.
Maria, yay!
All right.
Yeah, I'll jail Maria. I mean it.
Okay. Thank you all very much, and we are signing off. Thanks, Richie. Thanks, brother.
See you guys.
Richie, are you awake?
No, he's sleeping.
He's sleeping.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Me in class too.
Good night.
Good night.
See you later.